Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to
What was that?
Tornado Tag.
Yeah.
Tornado Tag drunk host.
We switched the flag. I was gonna say, okay.
I thought the crossover with banging beers and all the other things was going to be tomorrow, or I'm sorry, next Friday.
Next Friday.
Next Friday.
Well, I'll get into that in a second, but we want to thank our sponsor, Abbey Tattoo Studio, a unique professional experience nestled in the small town of Pine Grove,
By
Pennsylvania.
the way, the watermark is not up on the video.
Thank you, Brian.
If
You're
you put that up. Small town.
There it is.
Pine Grove, Pennsylvania. They offer
And?
a clean and unique tattoo
They
experience.
provide high quality
I'll get it.
tattoos
Yeah.
and
I've probably
piercings
got it
at a
all.
relaxed, professional, and sterile environment. You can check the links below. They are the first link
And-
in our link tree.
They just opened in our location, right?
Yes, in the much larger town of Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
Yeah. So if you want, you could go there.
You guys are all over it
Mhm.
tonight.
Right at the intersection of, I believe, Center and
Are they the Old Sage?
Norwegian? The Old Sage Tea House.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Sage Coffee House or whatever
Yeah.
that was. Yeah.
Tea Garden,
Right in the
yeah.
corner.
They do a great job. I have a thing going on right now on my personal Facebook because I'm not gonna get on my soapbox just yet, but I was gonna pull a moment.
All right, Ben.
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking drop a
Sam
pipe bomb.
Gamgee, you
Yeah.
fucking whore. Okay.
Gonna do a Terry Funk promo here.
Yeah.
Your mother's a whore.
Sam.
Yeah,
Your
so they,
children are all whore.
my horse is sick.
so go check out Abaddon Tattoo Studio. But yeah, I have I'm doing a thing. That's great. My camera just shut off.
The OS utility version.
I hope they can still hear us.
It's gonna be a fun show, folks.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I thought
That's
thought
better.
tonight was gonna be good for us, and it's proving to be.
This is the
It
all
sounds
black.
like it's taking pictures. There we are.
Alistair Black's coming out.
Yeah,
Oh no.
Yeah.
He just stands behind me and kicks my head off. That would be great.
That?
I hope they can actually hear. us.
What is he doing here? We immediately know his name, what he's doing. He informed us beforehand. Hey, before I attack them tonight, Excalibur, here's my
Before
name.
I attack them
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah.
All right, we're
from
back.
the dark room. He talked to Excalibur and said, "Here's my name. Please say that if I was to debut, but I might not. But if I did, this is what you should call me."
I think Excalibur comes from a newer generation where he follows everything on wrestling social
Yeah, but
media.
FTR didn't announce their names until they came out.
He's not.
And he knew.
But FTR didn't drop a promo on their Instagram before.
Well, that's Andy's
I-
point.
I
like,
know.
and he still knew their names.
Yeah, he still knew their names. He goes, "That's Cash Wheeler and Dex Harwood."
But weren't they? Oh yeah,
No,
good
they,
call.
they weren't anywhere, and
Good
he
call.
immediately knew their names.
Yeah, it's a good call. All right, you win.
Miro was fine because that's his actual name.
Yeah, so that's okay.
And didn't his name pop up on the?
Yeah. Well, the best man, Miro. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean that's a little bit different, but like you gotta.
You can do that. Everybody knows who. Like, it's off again.
Yeah. Wow.
What the fuck?
As you do this, me and Brian.
Technical
we'll
difficulties.
debate this topic.
You can do the.
As it comes in.
We know who that guy is because
Who's that? That was one of my
The-
favorite things. Is like, what? That can't be. it
arguably
is.
the most successful debut because it put his company in the lead for pretty much 2 years was when somebody showed up and said, "You know who I am,
Yeah,
but you don't know why I'm here."
and then the whole thing is, well, is it Razor Ramon? And no one knew his real name yet.
Is Aleister Black invading?
Yeah, yeah. But like, all you gotta do is to have a little. If they don't have the guy talk, I get it. Then Tony Schiavone, I just ran into him. I just got in the back. I had him for 1 minute, and all he said was Malachi Black has arrived. That's it.
Or yeah, just even on the big screen when the lights are out, it just says Malachi.
Yeah, that's
and then
it. And then now we
you
know
can
his
add the
name.
black later.
Yeah, I
There's so
know
many
his
things.
name, and I'm not going to tell you how I know his name. Like it just, I don't know, it takes me out of it. It's like that one time when I forget what it was. It was a pay-per-view, and Triple H beat somebody, and won the title, and Triple H came out, and the name was changed.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Wasn't it the night he like?
it was a surprise match that Triple H was like in this match.
Wasn't it the night that he beat Orton for the title and Orton beat him for it
Yeah,
again?
yeah. And I'm
Later that day.
Well, if this match wasn't going to happen, why would they have a Triple H just have everyone's nameplate in the back just
Yeah.
in case they get world
There's a
title
guy
match?
with a screwdriver waiting,
Yeah.
just in
Oh.
case.
My time is now. Triple like I was like,
No, that guy
oh,
just dropped the title.
yeah,
It's Triple H's time now.
he's coming soon. So we have trouble with the camera. It might just be an audio only one here today.
It keeps clicking. And
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah.
it keeps going.
It probably worked fine the whole time we were sitting here. You know.
So that's the big news in wrestling, I suppose, this week. Breaking news today: Bailey is out of Money in the Bank, out for 9 months. We were watching SmackDown a little bit before going live. It appears that Shotzi, Blackheart, and Tegan Knox were on SmackDown now.
Yeah, I was gonna say-
They beat Natty and and Tamina, which seems like it's not going to be a one-shot deal if they're beating Natty and Tamina. But it seemed like I noticed they just said Nox. She may have been one of those people that lost her name.
God.
I think it's just Shotzi and Nox.
Nox, that's so stupid.
Shots Nox.
Yeah,
sounds like German food.
And maybe Shotzi is just Shotzi.
Yeah, I think it might be just Shotzi and Nox.
Oh my God. I wonder why people lose one of their names when they come up. Rusev, Cesaro,
Murphy.
Yeah, Murphy. He lost the game to back.
Oh,
whoa! Now we switched to a new one here.
This is lo-fi mode.
Yeah, lo-fi. Hello. Yeah, and Bailey has a torn ACL.
That's just what we're gonna do. We're gonna do the webcam because that's for some reason that connection is being weird.
Should we do
if you guys can let us know in the chat if you were able to hear us the whole time, or if you can still hear us, to save me some time to make sure we're still good here. I mean, I can
definitely drop in on the live stream here on this laptop, and then
I don't know. Sorry, technical.
As we debate
tonight is just a night of technical difficulties where I was trying to help a show out and we had some technical difficulties, and now trying to do this, I have technical difficulties. If you are live, can you just let us know? That'd be great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There we go.
Oh, yeah, it's working. I thought that was an echo, but that's just me.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a delay and everything.
All right. So we have. Well, I had a whole joke planned, and now it's like fucking wasted. All right. We have a Patreon. Our Patreon is $1 or $5. It's like buying us a coffee or a soda. We've discovered, depending on where you buy your soda and your beer or coffee.
I like soda.
I don't know where these $1 coffees are.
Yeah,
I could use $1 coffee right now. I'm a little tired.
And if you're paying $5 for soda, you're paying way too much for soda.
Yeah, that's too high price for soda. You can support us on Patreon. It's like I said, it's a monthly thing. We're going to turn into our Patreon OnlyFans. To find out what that means, subscribe. That's the best way I can tell you. If you want to find out what our Patreon OnlyFans is,
you want to see what's behind this laptop?
Yeah, you need to subscribe because that's going to be our whole new thing on Patreon. Is subscribe to Patreon, our Tornado Tags Patreon
pretty good
OnlyFans. That's what we're going to say. All right. So if you want to be subscribing, check it out.
Maybe when we fix the other camera, you get this camera for free. You get the good camera.
Yeah.
If you fork over the $1 or the $5.
Actually, this doesn't look terrible. It's a little bright.
Fine.
Yeah, fix it. If we turn on the lights off or something.
Yeah. But yeah, so this is probably the first time I podcast in 3 years with a hat we discovered because I don't know where my hat is.
Oh.
I've been rushing around. But so we want to thank the people who support our Patreon OnlyFans, which will start tonight tomorrow at noon will be our first OnlyFans post.
Give yourself a little more time.
Tomorrow at noon, because there's a lot of prep to take OnlyFans photos.
Yeah, Photoshop. There's a lot of things you got to do.
So we really want to really take time to figure out this OnlyFans system, and we're gonna post it tomorrow.
And maybe if we get really good at it, video.
Ooh, yeah, dude, OnlyFans with videos are hot. well,
maybe these will be cool.
These are cooler. Yeah, these are like we don't have a hot OnlyFans. We have a cool.
I'm sure
OnlyFans.
some of them are. I'm sure some of them are gross.
There's some really hot OnlyFans out there. But if you want to subscribe, check out the Patreon. Not OnlyFans. Don't go to OnlyFans and look for us. We're on Patreon doing OnlyFans. We want to be very clear with our verbiage. It's OnlyFans. So on our Patreon. So anyway, we want to thank the people who's going to get this real cool action. Tommy B, which is a cool name for an OnlyFans.
I mean, is that a new subscriber or
no? He's been there for a minute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Tree of Life Metaphysical Shop. They're about it. Hireth, in other words, podcast. Tim, I don't know. I came up with this OnlyFans idea with Tim, so he's on board. He wants to see it.
He wants the OnlyFans.
Jay is gonna love it.
The mysterious.
The mysterious
Jay Mysterio. That's right.
Is going to love
John Galt sticker.
Our OnlyFans.
Back in the day, that's who is Jay.
Yeah, and Austin Blackwell. Maybe not. He probably won't like the OnlyFans because we're brothers. Yeah, and it'd be weird.
Yeah,
but he's gonna see OnlyFans, so it's not that bad.
I think this joke is dying.
No, it's not. Because you have to subscribe to find out what you're gonna see. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Our topic tonight is Jimmy Hart. I hope you guys heard the audio before that. We were talking the Aleister Black thing.
If they can't hear the audio, maybe we can get a megaphone.
Yeah, there we go. Like Howard Stern, you know how he does his parents, he pulls the megaphone up and talks to his parents.
Howard. But yes, so we We're going to talk all that fun stuff. We have some local stuff we're going to dive into. We're going to talk into more about the Aleister Black thing and some other topical news going on. So I'm going to turn to Brian real quick if you want to get us through the local stuff.
Yeah, we'll start with tomorrow. If you're listening live tomorrow, which will be, I almost said August, July
It might be
10th.
somewhere.
If you're listening to this live, it'll be July 10th in Reading, Pennsylvania.
Yes.
At 1742 Pear Street, excuse
The
me. Pear
Riverside
Street.
Beneficial Building right behind where the Reading Phillies play. At the, I don't, what's the Reading Stadium called?
First Energy.
I think, yeah, First
Park.
Energy
Yeah,
Stadium.
First Energy
Yeah.
sounds right.
This is going to be Regional Championship Wrestling Mega Brawl.
I believe 4. I'm not sure.
And yes, tickets are $16, still available. Damian Darko, Vince Bono in action. Violator versus Crazy Ivan. For the ultimate title, you have Red Scorpion against Mike Mitchell. And for the ultimate tag team title,
Mhm.
Mr. Ooh La La and Jax Molson are defending against Team Blue and Gold.
Yeah, Blue and Gold, baby.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Mr. Lala reigning ECWA
Yes,
heavyweight
the
champion.
legendary,
Yes.
the indie wrestling
I'd just like to
legend.
say there is an open bar at the Riverside
Don't tell me
Beneficial
that.
Building.
Don't
So
tell me that. Your boy will be there.
no, you won't. But
I won't be there.
Yeah. But there is open bar. So the last show was pretty good.
Yeah.
There was a lot of the first show back there in a long time, even way before Corona.
How do you feel
So-
about the fact that we've had some guests now on the show who like idolize Mr. Uala and really, really want to wrestle him, and you're getting an opportunity this weekend?
Oh, yeah,
You wrestled him last
yeah,
time, didn't
this will be the third time.
Third time.
Yeah.
Some people are begging for their first. You got
Yeah.
3 under your belt.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I like him.
Yeah.
I've known him probably since I started, but I did watch him in PCW when I was like real young.
Can you ask him if he'll do a podcast?
Yes, I can. and He
Okay.
probably will.
Really?
Yeah.
You think he has like a camera set up and stuff?
I don't know about that.
We'll find out.
He would call in.
Okay.
He could at least probably call in.
We'll put like a photo up. I think.
Yeah,
we'll
that's
do that.
yeah.
That'd be fun. No
Mhm.
beer today? No beer today. The beers happened before the camera start rolling, so we're good. I'm gonna switch to Swedish Fish.
I'm drinking water.
Yeah. So what else we got for in the news?
Well, let's keep that going to next weekend.
Well, there's another thing this weekend.
Oh, well, this I don't know about.
The Sanctuary
Oh, okay.
Oh, is that Sunday?
this Sunday.
Oh, okay, yeah. Please tell us.
Yeah, so this Sunday, the Sanctuary, they have some cool matches going on. If my phone would work, I would get right to it. I'll be doing commentary again. And another cool announcement of someone we know from the
And then
show.
what time
yes.
does that start? 4 or 5?
Doors open at 3. I think show starts at 4.
Okay.
And that's in Hazleton.
Hazel's.
Yeah, at the
the
sanctuary,
Sanctuary.
the beautiful building, beautiful.
Yeah. I'm pulling up right now. So call time. Oh, not call time.
Yeah,
Doors
yeah,
open
don't do
at
that.
4.
No, don't tell them that.
I don't want to say the matches. I don't know what was officially announced, but it's going to
I'll go
be
to the Facebook.
it's going to be the tag team tournament. They're doing a tag team tournament.
A lot of that going around these days.
Yeah, which is going to happen again next weekend. A tag tournament.
Well, no, not next weekend.
Weekend after.
July 27th and 28th.
Oh, okay, cool.
Wink, wink.
I just have my dates mixed up.
No. It might not exactly be live on IWTV.
Oh, it is 100% live. I just have
Oh,
my,
yeah, that's
I
right.
had my
Yeah,
dates
you have your
mixed up.
dates totally mixed up.
Yeah. So
The
thanks
Frank
for having.
Chosky Senior Memorial
Thank
Tournament.
you, Frank Chosky Senior Memorial Tournament.
Yeah,
There's a bunch of tag teams. There's gonna be some singles matches. So come over to the Sanctuary tomorrow. Doors open at 4:00. I believe it's $5 to come in.
Yeah.
Have a great time.
Hell of a deal.
And-
$5, cool building,
So
cool wrestling.
I got the team.
Be there.
Diamond City War Machines.
Yes, big
Um,
fans of the show.
I didn't know that Trajan was tagging up with AJ Evers, and they're called the Flatmates.
Yep,
Uh-huh.
The faceless ones I'm not familiar with.
they're really good. They're like the
Yeah.
LOD of Sanctuary.
I'm not familiar with
killing
them
everybody.
at all.
LOD was Hawk and Animal. Tom.
Gordy Palco and
They're both
Corey
good.
O'Ryan. I've seen Corey O'Ryan before. The Walker clan.
The Walker
The Walker
clan, yeah.
clan. I'm not familiar with them. The New Age Settlers. I know John West, and I think the other one is that
Tommy.
Yeah, Tommy. He might have a different name. That might be Angus Bedford. Kit Raff and Coach with it's Kit Raff and question mark.
Yeah.
I wonder. Kit Raff did have a partner, but I believe he's in California right now. So.
Yes.
How about Kit Raff wrestling Gangrel soon?
I know. Yeah, that'll be a backbreaker.
That'll be so much fun.
And I found out I'll be in Jersey that weekend.
Oh, is that the IW?
There's a different Jersey show going on that I have to help with production.
Oh,
I can't go
boy.
see it. I'm bummed. I wanted to see Gangrel and
Yeah.
Kit Raff and
Yeah,
shit.
it
You're
should be
missing
pretty
Gangrel everywhere, aren't you?
I am. I'm
Right.
missing every chance I get a chance to see the Gangrel. I miss it. It's all right. It'll happen eventually. I'll get bit.
Making the rounds, you know.
He's killing it right now.
Yeah,
But,
so the Sanctuary show will be pretty good. It's only $5.
It's a good time. And then the ring announcer, it's gonna be the Maestro from High Tension
right.
and Camp Leaf Ride.
Wow.
So we're excited to see the Maestro hang out.
One of the few people in the history of professional wrestling who has done ring announcing in just a vest
Yeah.
for the heavyweight show.
with no shirt on.
Oh, there you go.
He just let it all fly. He looked good.
There we go. So you got RCW Saturday and
Sanctuary on
Sunday.
Sunday.
on Sunday.
Big weekend for indie wrestling. So is next weekend.
Who this is a show.
This is a hell of a show. PPW Let It Roll at the Signature Training Academy, 137 Erin Lane in Broadheadsville. Doors at 5, bell at 7.
Get there quick because
They sold out last time. It was a
seats fill
legit
up quick.
sellout.
Yeah.
You do not want to be turned away. And I know front row was already sold out, I believe.
Mhm.
Second and third are not that far behind it. Not a bad seat in the house in that building. It's a good seat everywhere.
Yeah.
It's very intimate. Like
Parking's very easy. It's right out front.
yeah, I'm not trying to take a shot at Holy Family. It's a wonderful building, incredible building for wrestling.
Parking sucks.
Parking's not the best, and you can
At
be,
Holy Family.
yeah, and
Yes.
yeah. Oh, at Signature, it's amazing.
Yes.
Full parking lot.
Yeah, and there's one out front, and then there's one
Yeah.
to the left, and then behind it,
Abundant
and then there's
parking.
Rite Aid. Yeah, there's plenty,
Yeah.
and there's plenty of places to eat there. There's
Mhm.
McDonald's, all fast food, and then there's
Wawa.
Yeah, there's a Wawa right down there.
So yeah, you can eat your hoagie on the trash can and then come see wrestling.
There you go.
Yeah. And
And-
not only does this show have some amazing matches, but some great guests coming.
Yeah. So with this one, well, we have quite a lineup already because it is next week. So let's just run that down. And some of these are the guests. You have the librarian Leva Bates in a mixed tag team match, teaming with Mr. James, formerly Evander James, former PPW heavyweight champion, against Danny Moe and the man who I believe beat Mr. James in a qualifier to move on in the title tournament, Fox Vineyard.
Yes.
Mixed tag match.
Yeah, mixed tag. Librarian and Mr. James against Fox and Danny Moe. You have, speaking of people who moved on in the heavyweight title tournament, Joey Martinez will be going up against Matt Morris, who you most likely would know better as Aiden English in the WWE.
Yeah, and remind me to tell you something later about that.
Okay.
And then, speaking of people at this table, for the WYLN television title,
That's channel 15, baby.
Channel 15, Andy Header defends against the Ghetto Samurai, Nola Katano,
How about it?
who has beaten Andy Header,
Wow,
I
once
might add.
before at the Holy Family. So.
Yeah. Holy Family,
So
yeah.
this would be you getting a win back.
Yeah, I can't do it. Can't do it twice. No, though.
Yeah.
Can't do it twice. baby.
So Rosh commented and said, mystery partner spot, ...
Whoa!
What if?
Oh, geez, him and Kit.
Well, maybe the what if means something else.
It ain't me because I work Sundays.
What if it
Maybe.
wasn't you? Who else would it be?
Yeah, I don't know.
Look, if it's not on WYLN, he's not coming.
He's
Mr.
I got a
WYLN.
contract now. I'm cable access. I'm the king of cable access,
Who-
baby.
Who else would be what if?
I don't know.
The Rock and Roll Express.
Oh God.
Maybe it'll be Carmella.
Yeah, I mean Carmella.
Might be Rick Rude with a pistol.
Rick Rude in a mask coming after Shane Douglas.
Yeah. Likely story. I think what they're trying to say is they would love you at Sanctuary.
Yeah, it's Sundays are very hard for
Yeah,
me.
you
And
work
especially I'm
Sundays.
going to be a little busy for the next 2 months.
Yeah.
Um,
Can we talk about it?
no,
No. Okay.
No.
not till it's official.
Okay. Next match.
Are you moving on from WYLN? He's going to be.
No, I'm
He's
staying
going the
with W-
Friday Night
I'm
SmackDown,
s-
baby.
Yeah, I'm staying with WYLN. I'm going to WVIA 44 PBS.
Can someone make the PBS title?
Yeah, wouldn't that be awesome?
He stops in the middle of the match to do a pledge drive. It'll
Yeah.
be great.
Sesame Street Muppets come
There's
out with
like
me.
Rovers on the title, the side plate.
So, moving on in the heavyweight title tournament, we're going to round up the other half of the semifinals. So you're going to have the only non-three-way of the opening round. But what a match this is going to be! What a match! Last month, I think the last PPW show, I think a lot of people would say that the show stealer was Davey Richards and Casey Navarro.
Davey Richards now getting a huge social media presence. He's just made a Twitter account
Great.
and I believe an Instagram.
Yeah, he's really trying with the comeback because I know he was a little wishy-washy there for a while
Yeah.
before Corona. So.
I think he realized, like, I still got it.
yeah,
He's still every bit of the Davey Richards he was
Ooh.
before.
Oh boy.
But
But
I,
I'm glad if you don't know what we're talking about, or if you do know Davey Richards, please go search him. He's on social media now. He's definitely making a comeback. You're going to see him again, another chance to see him again at PPW. PPW was like, we paid for him, and he was worth every penny and
Yeah.
more. We're bringing him back.
Mhm.
He's if he's someone who's there every week, I would be excited, or every month because he's unbelievable.
And so I bring him up because I think, in my opinion, here's your show stealer for, I mean, Andy and Nola's going to be good. There's some matches coming up here. They're going to be good. This could be your show stealer here.
Real quick I forgot, we kind of rushed over it because we started talking about other things. Nola's hitting a stride right now.
Mhm.
He's doing really well. You got to see him wrestle a Whisper. We were ringside.
Leapfrog.
At Leapfrog.
Yes.
And watching him when he wrestled you the first time,
Mhm.
and then seeing him at PPW progress, and then where he's at now with Nola, he's a different wrestler. He's greatly improved.
That was 2 years ago.
So he took his time during the pandemic. That House of Glory, he's really kicked in his training. He's, when you're around talented people who are making appearances at AEW Dark, iron sharpens iron. And Nola's definitely. I just don't want to brush over your opponent. I think he's a good kid, and he's been working his ass off. And
what are you trying to say? He's not good?
Yeah.
No, Andy's very good. Andy, I mean, listen, it speaks for itself. Andy's body is amazing right now. He's killing it. But I think it's two people who have really, since the last time they faced, have both projected upwards.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be exciting.
Was that the last match you lost in PPW? I think it may have been. Well, I mean, the Battle Royal, but you were the Iron Man.
No, the match where you left Undeniable, you lost that one.
That was the same night.
Didn't Jose beat you?
No, he was doing commentary and then he ran in and Tony.
I can't remember.
I thought you lost earlier that night.
Early against Nolo. Yeah,
okay.
It was that night.
Yeah, I think it was. Brian.
I can't remember at all.
I rely on Brian more than my memory.
I remember the building, and I can't.
But either way, two people that are red hot.
All I remember, it was sold out, hanging from the rafters. That's all.
Hanging from the.
What the old guy.
Evander James' last show hung from the rafters.
No,
you weren't there. Yeah, you missed it.
Yeah,
I missed it too. I was doing some other stuff. What I was getting at, this heavyweight title tournament match could be your show stealer here. Killian McMurphy against Bro Keller.
I was gonna say
that's a hell of a match.
That should be very good.
Yes, very, very good. I can't wait. I won't be able to see it live.
Yeah, I'm glad they're both back. And
Bro Keller with long hair looks good.
I think it's a good look for him.
Killian with long hair too. But
and Killian is just killing it all over the place right now.
He's got a date coming up in New Jersey at the end of the month with Wheeler Yuta for the IWTV title.
Sick would it be? Because if you look at my phone is going crazy. I apologize. If you look at
throw it in the garbage,
everybody who's been recently winning that IWTV and where they've gone after, and just like how they become so revered and loved, and they're just like these top tier talents.
Yeah,
Killian, it's someone we're closer with. I wasn't really super close with anyone at that level, who's won something that cool.
Yeah.
So I'm really rooting for the guy. I was a heel and whole, but I mean, I'm rooting for him.
I was over the moon when he won the Super 8.
Yeah.
Just because, for one thing, he brought the Super 8 back to Delaware, and then just because, Killian won it.
Yeah, I'm excited for him, man.
Should be good. IWTV 100 should be a good show too.
Yeah, and Killian's title shot is at the women's Super 8, which would be fun. Our friend Adina Steele is going to be on that show. Our friend Kaya McKenna, look at your shirt right there.
Been doing that.
It's going to be on the. It's going to be on the show. It's going to be on IWTV, I believe, July 31st.
Damaris from Camp Leapfrog. Damaris from Camp Leapfrog will be there, and
Erica Lee.
Erica Lee, yeah. How can I forget Erica Lee? Yeah.
I'm looking for merch for her. I want an Erica Lee shirt.
Does she have a pee poo poo t-shirt? Because that's a big thing.
Yeah.
I know she had a shirt with her making a weird face, or it was a cartoon. It was pretty cool. Unless maybe it was a joke. I thought it was a shirt.
Talk about somebody with momentum. You had 14, I think, people in that Cybernetico and Fight Forever as part of GCW, and she was the one that came away the winner.
Yeah.
Their side one came down to her and Boomer, and she beat Boomer.
Do you see who she has to face off with soon at Pro Magic?
No.
She has to go against Maxie Impaler.
Oh, she's a champion there, I believe.
Yeah,
I believe
Erica is.
Erica,
yeah. Erica. They're announcing that Killian and the Goons will be in attendance.
Oh, okay.
And she has to score on 101 against Max.
Oh, Max is also they're in the ROH women's title tournament.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they are.
Is ROH getting open crowds yet?
I think this is going to be working toward it. Yeah,
you got it soon.
Is
that
is it ROH or MLW who's doing the MLW?
ROH is doing the title.
MLW is the Battle Right, and that's coming.
No, they're the one doing the 2300 arena, right?
No, that's MLW.
They both run.
MLW.
Yeah, MLW. That's where Battle Right's going to be.
I
think that's this weekend actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and I think I read that they're going to be expanding their women's division too. I think Dave Prazak, who founded Shimmer, which was the original
that was
big American
like the ROH for women.
Yeah,
really.
Yes.
And their main event, amazing match of their first show ever. Go out of your way to find this match. I think it's on YouTube. It was Sarah Del Rey, now Sarah Amato. She is the assistant head coach at the Performance Center, and one of the best American women's wrestlers of her generation, if not the best. The main event of the first Shimmer show, and it's amazing. It's her and Mercedes Martinez. Mm-hmm. And it's worth going out of your way to look.
Natty was on. She wrestled for Shimmer.
Did you see what happened talking about, we'll get into like news.
Oh, we're
But
getting
remind me to
knocked
go
out.
talk about her getting knocked out.
Yeah, Mercedes getting knocked out in the Xia Li match.
Here's my thing. Xia Li's very talented, but this is like the second person or third person she's kicked in the face.
Then you're not so talented. You gotta learn to work, bro.
She broke what's her name's nose.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I mean, she's
Um,
still green, but like, if someone can't do a move, don't have them do it.
Dude, she knocked
know?
Martina out,
That's what I heard. Yeah, she
Oh.
blasted her. Like,
blasted her. Like Aleister Black does that move, and it looks like he knocks her the
Yeah.
fuck out, but no one's the next day going
yeah,
through
like
percussion.
Arn Anderson is in the hospital
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Xia Li, maybe. I'm just saying, like, I know there's
A
a lot of
little
people.
reckless. She is still new, but like, maybe give her a different move.
Yeah.
Anyway, MLW Battle Riot is this Saturday, and it is from the ECW arena because I
Sold
refused to
out.
there one.
And they went max capacity there.
I think they're going live on BN Sport as their network.
Yes.
I want to bring something up real quick, and it's going to tie in for this MLW and AEW.
But if they're looking to expand the men's roster, I will gladly join.
Yes. I think it's very smart that
But
they're
only if they're on
starting.
WIL.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got the hookup for him, though.
They're very
so Court
smart.
Bauer, I got the hookup to get you on cable access in the Hazleton area.
It's very smart that they're doing the 2300 arena, and not only did I do the 2300 arena, they're packing it out.
Man, why don't you call it the ECW arena?
I mean, realistic, it is. It's the ECW arena.
It's always the or
And-
just the arena.
If you look at like, I kind of look at like what we've experienced on recent indie shows, and then I go back and listen to like what all people like ECW really did. When it comes to like production wise, we're probably ahead of what ECW
Well,
did.
back then they had 2 cameras.
Yeah.
They had 2 cameras.
Yeah.
Cameras, because they're in every phone now, camera equipment has gotten a lot cheaper and a lot more affordable. There's been a lot of costly renovations done in that building because
it's beautiful now.
yeah, the ECW arena back then was a dump.
It was.
It was
So
it was
But
a
it was
warehouse.
a cool place to be.
It was a warehouse for mummers. It was a place they played bingo. It was a place they did beef and beers if somebody died. It was just a local hall like your American Legion Hall. or
Yeah,
something
it
like
was a box that had a bathroom in it.
Yeah.
You know,
So the reason I'm getting at that is MLW right now is MLW. They're not competing with they're not competing with the WWE's.
yeah, well, they're
ROHs.
not. Yeah, they know where the position is.
I believe
But-
actually Pillman is finishing up on that battle.
Yes, he is.
But if we've learned anything, that ECW didn't have a lot to work with. What they had was lost roster loyalty, and they put themselves in front of an audience who made them look bigger than they were. If you have an audience who's going to live or die for you,
Mhm.
and you put it in buildings like that, and you build off that, the world's first appearance of MLW back is going to be a packed ECW arena,
Yeah,
which is not a bad thing to show off
Yeah.
for.
it's much
Because-
better than wherever in Florida.
Because here's the thing, right now with AEW and WWE, WWE is going back to a live crowd starting next week, right?
Yep, next Friday.
AEW has been doing that. So during the whole time, WWE has tried to since where they show like the people in the crowd are enthusiastic, but they're not.
Yeah,
They're not enthusiastic. They don't care. They're props.
they're just
But
watching.
the locker
screen.
room got behind their own product and had fun while being at ringside.
Yeah,
So they set a tone. I mean, the AEW crowd was already hot, but now they set a tone to keep that and make positive, and they're doing the right things. Where WWE fans hate AEW, but also disagree with everything WWE's doing.
Just saying
So, like,
everything.
You're just like, it's like a bad relationship in WWE. So the crowd now, AEW comes back to a hot crowd.
Mhm.
And what I'm saying is, like, if somebody, like when the guy went on the mic and said like AEW sucks,
Oh,
and the
Dan
place-
Lambert.
and
Yeah.
the whole place
He was
booed him.
playing Jim Cornette.
Yeah, that was an old ECW bit.
Yeah, the whole place bought into it though.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. If it was ECW, 911 would have come out and chokeslammed. Yeah, that would have
If
been
somebody went on WWE TV right now and said this place sucks,
yeah, they would never let that happen.
But I'm saying if they did in front of a live crowd,
Yeah,
do you
they
think
would-
they'd get booed?
No, they would cheer.
No, they would cheer him. Yeah,
Yeah, it does suck. Why bought a ticket
You're
for
right.
it? Yeah.
we do hate the Alexa stuff.
Yeah, it's. I know I'm not saying there's competition. I'm not saying one's better than the other, but the AEW crowd is making that.
Oh,
like,
I will say that right now AEW is
Yeah.
better than main roster
It
WWE.
is.
Yeah.
It's the more enjoyable
NXT
show.
is a little. I think AEW is a little more fun. NXT is better wrestling, but
Yeah, NXT.
if you're gonna say AEW or Raw,
NXT
it's no contest.
NXT
Yeah.
needs a crowd.
Yeah,
it does. But NXT is not what it was,
NXT
and
is
that's
putting
not on the
really
talent.
good.
It's just how they're
Yeah.
booking it. and-
NXT is putting on really good shows. Match wise, the qualities are fantastic.
Yeah.
yeah,
The problem is, like, if you had the AEW energy at an NXT show,
Yeah.
they would feel like NXT shows again.
yeah.
What I'm saying is, like, no matter how good of a show you put on, the crowd feedback is
Oh,
super
yeah, that's
super
any
key.
wrestling show. Yeah,
And it's really
Yeah, that's
I
why
don't
Impact is just dying to death. Get a fucking crowd.
But
Yeah.
I think Slammiversary, they're going to be back in front
Oh,
of the
okay,
crowd too.
good.
Who do you think shows up at Slammiversary?
No one real big.
You don't think anybody?
Yeah, like your
Then none of them guys will be available by then.
like that first wave might be
Yeah, the
there.
first wave,
like
so-
Mojo Rawley.
Yeah, I
somebody
mean,
like
that's
that.
not-
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think of who was all gone.
You know who I'm kind of leaning toward just from listening to the podcast?
Who's that?
I think the Iconics,
maybe.
Yeah, they could stop in for a
I
little
can
bit.
see them go
because
doing Impact.
they're very keen on those women's tag team titles.
Yeah, and they do have a women's tag division.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yep. They really want those tag team titles. They said we love AEW, but there's more incentive of us as a combo team.
Yeah.
to
So
go
maybe
to
they'll go.
an
Yeah,
Impact.
I can
Yeah.
see that.
Yeah, get your name built up. Yeah, because I could also see the Iconics getting rehired.
I will say
by
this.
WWE.
Yeah.
No, not a knock to Kenny. Didn't really care when he made a crossover. I mean, I was excited to kind of maybe
It's
see what happened.
the first week, and then kind of everyone trailed
Yeah.
off after that. We watched the Rich Swann match. I watched that. It was good. But then after that,
Iconic showing up on Impact TV.
Mm-hmm.
I think I tune in every week now
I wouldn't.
because I'm
I like them, but I wouldn't.
I'm a fan of them. I would want to see what they do. I would definitely keep an eye on the product more.
yeah.
Because then I'm like, okay, see, I like Ace, but it's hard to find that programming.
Yeah.
I need Ace and something.
and
Like,
plus, like
if they were using Ace differently,
a
I'd be more
2-hour
inclined.
show that you want to watch 15 minutes of, and when's the 15 minutes going to be? You know,
Yeah. Like for me, ROH, I really want to go out of my way to watch ROH because Tony Deppin's there. They're using it properly.
I couldn't even tell you where to watch ROH.
and Danhausen,
Danhausen.
I like it.
Danhausen entertains me.
Yeah, Deppen is the still the TV champion.
Yeah.
So he's doing really well there.
So I think a signing at Slammiversary of an Iconics or something like that would
That could
entice me to
happen,
go
yeah.
over. It really would.
Oh, well, you're the only one.
Yeah.
Nothing against the Icon. It's just against Impact. It's not.
Yeah.
I don't
So
know.
moving on with we have a
Gosh.
few matches left on PPW here
got a Halo.
for the 17th. We have Deshaun Pratt, Facade, and Encore in a 3-way to move forward in the
tournament.
heavyweight title tournament.
That should be a good one.
And then we also have Alpha Jr. and South Philly's Finest against Main Event and Gangrel.
Yeah.
The only thing that bothers me about that last match is you're getting Facade and Deshaun in a match.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you would have
The-
said who are your two favorites to be in the finals of that tournament,
Yeah.
Facade and
Yeah,
Deshaun,
yeah, it's
maybe
like-
bro.
You can't have them
Yeah.
and the.
But never count Deshaun out because
The-
even if he loses,
I don't think that exists anymore.
it better.
I don't think it does.
It better.
so
We'll see what happens.
they might have possibly forgot.
It's very possible.
Anyway, the work rate is going to be very high.
Yeah,
this
it's gonna be
show.
a fun match.
Yeah. It's a really
This
good card.
show. I mean,
It's
there's no like scrubs in this show here.
Did they publicly announce that card? Who's going to be at the next one?
Yes, they did.
We have some for the next two shows. We have some
yeah, they
people
publicly
for-
announced the
Okay.
no matches.
This is all pulled from PPW.
Okay.
I don't have the ins that you have in with PPW.
I forget who sends me what, so I always
Yeah,
be
so
careful.
this is all stuff from the PPW Entertainment Facebook page.
Mhm.
And for Aerial Assault, August 14th, I believe they are going to have the semifinals of the title tournament. They didn't announce that yet, but I think they've said it before. And then you also have announced for that show, Davey Richards is coming back.
baby. Woo, baby.
Mhm.
Casey Navarro is going to be back. The former Mojo Rawley, I don't know who's going to be called now.
Get hype.
Rojo Molly.
I still think he goes by Mojo.
Mojo, okay.
Well, he did a podcast. as
he might
Mojo Rawley.
he might be able to just be Mojo or yeah, no, it depends. Like his Mojo Rawley's probably
Yeah.
copyrighted. Like,
But you know
as
what we're
that.
talking about. The Stay Hype guy.
You
Yeah.
can always change it. Maybe it'll be Mojo Hype.
Yeah.
And fresh off a cameo appearance in the Women's Royal Rumble this year, Jillian Hall.
Yeah. That's what they should get the Iconics to have Billy and Jilly again.
Is she going to sing the national anthem?
No.
Ooh,
I know you want me.
I love that.
Or is she going to have a giant mole on her face?
I love the.
Book
And then
Man
Jay
eats it
Lyon can eat it off.
I love that. Love that national anthem idea.
And then the big show that all this tournament is building to, the anniversary show, TTP 8, I believe, or is it 7?
What
I forget.
is it called? TTP?
Not TTP.
I was gonna.
PPW. Typo. PPW anniversary.
If
show.
they name a show after us,
No,
I'll be flattered.
It's PPW, and then whatever your anniversary is. I believe
It is 8.
8. Okay, PPW 8. The 8th anniversary. So September 11th. And it's going to be in Broadheadsville. They announced it's going
Yeah.
to be at the Signature.
Same
Training
place,
Academy.
same building.
This is a big show.
this
This
will-
is a guest lineup.
Yeah,
this-
usually they go big on their anniversary show.
This will be the night that they do the finals of the heavyweight title tournament.
so we'll be guaranteed a new champion.
So from who's left in tournament, it's going to be Joey Martinez, Fox Vineyard. It could be Deshaun Pratt. It could be
yeah.
Facade. It could be Encore. It
Killian
could
and
be Killian.
Bro.
It could be Bro. It's going to be one of those 7. or two of those
Oh, two,
7
yeah.
are going to be in that match, unless like there's an injured alternate type thing. Announced as guests, Fuego del Sol will be there, who's a fixture on AW Dark. As somebody who was supposed to be on the PPW show that never happened before everything shut down. Matt Sydal,
Mhm.
speaking of AEW talent, formerly
A lot of people were like, man, we had a chance to see Sydal before he got signed to AEW.
Yeah,
Because he was the Joker.
while he's at AEW.
Yeah, now you can see AEW Matt Sydal,
Mhm.
which is super exciting.
Yes.
Had a great match against Andrade.
Yeah.
I thought it was not so good.
Really?
I thought they didn't click.
I think they had a lot of time they had to stall in between commercials.
I thought there's just some parts where it didn't like. I don't know. I just think they didn't mesh well in my mind.
Yeah.
Very, very good matches in old school Ring of Honor too.
Yeah, but
Even
Matt
as
Sydal's
Evan
great.
Bourne. Yeah,
And
Matt Sydal's-
Andrade's great. That match
Yeah.
just wasn't.
Uh,
Anyway, Matt Sydal's very good.
And now we're getting to some of the bigger names. This is going to be near and dear to your heart, Tony. Enzo and Kaz XL will both be in attendance.
We were
We're
supposed to
finally
have,
getting Kaz. So
we were
it's gonna be
supposed to
good.
have this
It's a good redemption
at
story.
PPW. We were supposed to have Enzo and Cass.
PPW 6, I believe. It was
Yes.
supposed to have him.
And I was on this show marking out, loving it. Got to see my boys Enzo and Cass. I'm big fans. Everyone fucking shits on me for an Enzo Cass fans, but I love them. And unfortunately, Cass went through some mental issues, mental roadblocks again. And he had a little bit of a slip up, and he wasn't able to make PPW.
You call it demons in professional wrestling.
Yeah, he had some demons, and he's taking care of it, and he looks
Yeah.
amazing. And he's also on MLW, correct?
Impact.
He's on Impact.
W. Morrissey is in
and
it.
he's doing amazing. And we
So
get that,
it'll probably be W. Morrissey, I would think, at PPW.
but we're very, very excited to see him back and give him the love we never had a chance to give him last time he was supposed to be here. So that's exciting.
And then they do have in the posters an FKA, so we don't have a new name yet, but the wrestler that was known in WWE as Buddy Murphy.
Have you seen him in his gym picture?
He's really huge now.
Jesus Christ.
He wants a contract.
And a very good wrestler.
Yeah, he's very good. And he was with Alexa. So I mean, where do you go? It's only down from there.
Are you going to be like, can I just hug you because you got to hug Alexa?
Yeah. What was
The
it like?
closest I'll get.
What was it like?
You're going to be in the back. He's like, get away from me.
Yeah.
You fucking creep. You and your TV title.
Yeah.
Get away from me. So will you be TV champion up until the anniversary show? You think you could hold it that long?
It'll only be one match. Or no, it'll be two defenses.
Yeah,
right?
depending on
Because
that.
it'll be July.
We got to get by Nolo first.
Yeah,
this
and then
month.
whoever I wrestle, if I beat Nolo, then whoever in August. So
Do you have any? Do you calling your shot? Are you telling the fans that you will see?
I have no idea in August who if I beat Nolo, who it would be. I have no idea.
You're supposed to say, when I beat them.
Yeah. Well,
And when I see you guys at the anniversary as the WYLN champion.
yeah.
Yeah.
In 3 months, we'll find out.
But I know it probably won't happen, but Matt Sydal versus Buddy Murphy would be fun.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Matt Sydal against Casey Navarro would be very interesting.
Yeah. Maybe they bring Dave Richards back. Well,
Maybe we get a Buddy Murphy, Matt Sydal, Casey Navarro triple threat match.
I would rather just have 2 really good matches instead of 1 triple threat.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
And there's so many people, so many talented people on that on the PPW roster that are regulars.
Depending what Deshaun does in the tournament, if Deshaun's not, if he's not part of the thing, Deshaun would be a good.
Or Matt Sydal.
I mean, a facade would Deshaun or facade, depending on how they go in the tournament, would both be amazing matches.
Yeah, one of them's not going to be in the finals.
Yeah.
One of them's going to be a
there you go.
surprising.
That's
They would
That's
both be
it.
great
Yeah.
Matt Sydal opponents.
Yeah, our Buddy Murphy.
Yeah. Or Drew Adams.
Is he back?
That was a joke.
Oh, I was like, who is Drew Adams? I forgot about him.
So
I don't think he wrestles anymore.
Really?
I haven't seen him.
Oh, I hope not. I hope that's not the case.
Yeah.
I was making a rib. I don't have.
Yeah, I had to think.
I don't have anything against the kid.
I was like, who is he on 205 Live? Like, that's true.
As far as Kaz, maybe if he's not in the finals of the tournament, Fox and Kaz would be a good
That'd be
match.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of ways you can go.
Yeah,
Bull, you can do a tag team with maybe Enzo and Kaz against Bull Hightower.
Yeah, I was gonna say, who does Enzo and Cass
Yeah.
wrestle?
Is Enzo
Oh,
wrestling?
main
It's just
event
going to
would
be
be-
a
But he wrestled in PCW.
yeah.
PCWA.
Yeah.
So
I would main event Sambo show or
Yeah.
Shuffley's finest.
Yeah.
Unless Punk All Stars come back.
oh yeah, I forgot
Yeah.
about them. I forgot all about them.
Mhm.
Oh.
Pandemic's been tough. It's hard to grab some people.
great tag team division. So there's plenty of people to pick
Yeah.
from in that division.
Speaking of 205,
What about 205?
we had another superstar blow a 205.
Oh, which was it Jimmy that did it?
It's one of the Usos.
Yeah.
I believe it was
I'm-
Jimmy.
One of them needs maybe rehab.
Yeah, and that's exactly why I know I made a light joke there, but reality here's how I honestly feel about the situation. The guy needs help.
Yeah, if
Like-
because you're driving between, well, not towns now, but
Mhm.
when they get back on the road, you're driving drunk and like, okay, you don't care
You're
about
just driving
yourself.
drunk. Period.
If you're
Yeah.
making WWE main roster money, you can afford an Uber.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or your wife or your brother's wife. can
just
drive,
before just before he hurts himself or someone else,
Yeah.
I truly wish him the best.
Yeah.
He's super talented. He comes from a super talented family. I don't know what he's going through mentally because listen, like when you go through some things, man, you gravitate to the
they-
bottle. It's a tough thing to shake.
Yeah, I believe they both had DUIs.
Yeah.
So this is the second one for one of them. And
So I don't want to sit here and just keep piling on and making fun of the guy and picking on him for it. But I truly hope he gets better. That's just I'm going to leave it at that.
Yep. Absolutely. And so getting back to more local stuff, we do have coming up 2 weeks from tomorrow.
Here we go.
So close. We have a doubleheader, Legends of Hamburg
Mhm.
and Outbreak Wrestling's return.
Hamburg
Got a
Fieldhouse, Hamburg,
little-
Pennsylvania.
Got a little frog in my throat there. I apologize.
Did you see who's free for general admit for anyone who buys a
Yes,
ticket?
I did. I wish I had a whistle on me.
Yeah,
I have a whistle. I'm going to get him to sign it.
yeah, you have Bill Alfonso.
go.
I actually have a Bill Alfonso whistle.
I just hope there's no fighting between him and Todd Gordon. I hope
Yeah.
we can keep them apart.
I hope they stick after and they each manage somebody.
There's
awesome.
there's a great story about that because that was something that a few ECW fans believed. They really believed that Bill Alfonso was sent by the State Athletic Commission to clean up ECW and that Todd Gordon hated them.
Yeah.
They were really good friends. Like
Yeah.
they did a shoot interview together much later. It was Alfonso, Todd Gordon, Sandman, and Too Cold, I think.
Okay.
Because they would all hang out together.
Alfonso was a ref at the time, right?
He was always a ref until
And
he
then
became a manager.
Yeah.
Because he was a referee. He broke into the business with his. It's gonna be like a mini Bill Alfonso biography here. He broke into the business with his stepbrother, who was David Sierra. He wrestled a lot as a Cuban assassin, and he was a wrestler. And Alfonso wound up refereeing. And because he was bilingual, when Elegante, who was an Argentinian guy, huge, one of the tallest wrestlers there's ever been, he was about 7'6" legit. Like WWE said he was 8 feet tall, but he was legit like 7'5" or 7'6". He was a little bit taller than Omos, to give you a little, he's like 2 inches taller than him. And he spoke not a word of English. He was from Argentina, came over to play basketball. It didn't work out. He was with the Atlanta Hawks. Ted Turner owned them. So he's like, okay, your basketball contract is now a wrestling contract. Welcome to WCW.
Yeah.
And back then, a lot of your big, tall guys like that always had a handler. Like with Andre the Giant, it was a guy, Frenchie Bernard, for a while. And then it was Tim White, the referee. And because Bill Alfonso knew how to referee and because he spoke Spanish fluently, he became Elegante's handler. And then when his run in WCW kind of washed out, he's helped negotiate the deal to bring Elegante in the WWF as Giant Gonzalez. So if you ever go back on the WWE Network on Peacock and watch his matches, pretty much any match you see Elegante in, the referee is Bill Alfonso because he was helping call the match in
And you
Spanish.
can see Fonzie in some NWA matches too, ref.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he winds up after Giant Gonzalez's run is done in WWF, he comes to ECW as a heel referee, almost as the American Tirantes, because Tirantes was the big Rudo referee in Mexico. And they said because ECW was so violent and so extreme that the Pennsylvania State Athletic Commission is stepping in and appointing him the referee, and he's calling disqualifications. He disqualified somebody for using a closed fist in ECW. So that was the angle. And they were in a hotel one time, and Gordon and Alfonso were in an elevator together, and a fan comes in. He's like, "Get him, Todd!" They have to act like they're about to fight.
Oh, that's funny.
That's right, that is you.
Bill Alfonso will be there. Todd Gordon will be there. Recently announced people. They've been announced for a while. And yeah, Bill Alfonso, if you're paying the admission to come in, Fonzie is free. He's a freebie. Like a lot of people are. Jimmy Hart's $20, Marty Jannetty's $20.
No one's real expensive.
Yeah, like they're pretty reasonably priced. Like if you want to get a photo and an autograph from Jannetty or Fonzie, or not Jannetty or Jimmy Hart, it's $35. Separately, they're $20 each. But some recently announced people for Legends of Hamburg. You have
Stickers. Ours.
Steven DeAngelis, who is currently with MLW. He did a lot with ECW. If you go way back like I do, he was in Global Wrestling Federation with Steven the Truth. He did some stuff with Impact Wrestling. He's been an announcer, just an interviewer, a TV personality. Maven,
Nice.
Original Tough Enough winner Maven will be there. Barry Horowitz.
Just announced Barry Horowitz.
Speaking of
Pat
global
myself on the
wrestling, the former
You got him
global.
in.
No, that's
Oh.
that's
That's his thing.
his thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
I have a
one.
t-shirt. Oh, you have one?
he was the Global Wrestling Federation light heavyweight champion for a little bit, managed by Bruce Pritchard.
How about
And he beat Jerry Lynn for that title.
Yeah.
cool.
Mark Jindrak recently announced.
Really? Wow.
Former WCW and WWE wrestler. He's been very successful in Mexico as Marco Corleone. He was part of the Natural Born Thrillers stable.
Mhm.
I believe he was a former WW or WCW tag team champion. He was the lost member of Evolution. They shot vignettes with him. They just didn't feel like he was a good fit, and they replaced him with Dave Bautista. And then very successful in Mexico since then. Speaking of heel referees, Nick Patrick is going to be at Legends of Hamburg. Joel Goodhart, who was the owner of the TWA, which was the spiritual forerunner, the spiritual predecessor of ECW. And it doesn't
just put together super shows.
They would put together super shows. They would do a lot of blood. They would bring in a lot of imports. I believe, I'm not sure about this, I believe Todd Gordon may have been a silent partner in that. And then when TWA went belly up, he started ECW. After that, they kind of keep that spirit going.
Yeah.
But TWA was huge. They would pack a couple thousand people in the Civic Center a couple times a year. They would bring in people like Cactus Jack, Eddie Gilbert, Jerry Lawler, Crush. Before they closed down their last show, and it never happened. But the main event was supposed to be the Battle of the Nature Boys, because their champion at the time was the Nature Boy Buddy Landell, and he was going to go up against, coming out of retirement, Nature Boy Buddy Rogers.
Oh wow,
Buddy was
Rogers.
like about 60s,
Yeah,
maybe
it's
late 60s, early 70s at that point, but it never happened. And unfortunately, Buddy Rogers passed shortly after that. But so yeah, that's pretty big. And then right after that, that's done at 6 p.m. Outbreak Wrestling is back.
So the just to recap, the convention is 10 to 4, and there's food trucks outside.
Yeah,
there will be.
Wine truck is going to be outside.
Yeah, and then I think I don't know if there'll be some food inside. I know for the Outbreak show there will be food inside.
Yeah.
But
we will have a table alongside the high tension wrestling table in Camp Leapfrog.
Yeah.
Andy will be selling his merch.
Yes, I'm gonna have bandanas. Hopefully.
Yeah,
in
we have
five
some
colors.
holographic shining stickers.
Yeah, these are cool. I also have mine with my logo on it, but these are very cool too.
So we'll give these away for you guys if you see us.
Yeah.
We'll probably be taking rotations so we can go around and meet some people. Because I definitely want to spend at least $40 on Jimmy and Marnie.
Okay.
That's
no problem.
Yeah, I'm thinking like Jimmy, maybe Zabisco. This is going to be a big one for me.
I have a Barry Harwitz toy thing. One of those micro. It came from my pro wrestling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
At our table, our joint table with High Tension and Camp Leapfrog, not only Andy Hedder, but Johnny Moran will be there.
From Miranda.
And the world famous CB will be with us too.
Formerly Cheeseburger, I've seen in ROH and New Japan Wrestling.
And then Camp Leapfrog.
And Camp Leapfrog, yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're excited to see
And
everybody.
then we didn't say the Godfather's going to be there.
Yeah,
There's so many. Just check the list. We'll be here all day if we did all
that list. These were the newest people who we may have missed before. D'Lo Brown afterward, if you were a local wrestler, he's doing a seminar. I believe he's also doing. Oh, is it before?
Is it before or after?
It's
because I thought it was going to be between 4 and 6.
It will be between the. So the seminar is only for if you're a person in the business, a wrestler, you will be doing the seminar in the building between the con and the show.
Cool.
Because the con ends at 4 and the show starts at, I think doors open at 6.
6, yeah.
So just 2 hours of downtime there.
And then your host, I believe D'Lo's also doing commentary for the Outbreak show.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. Chris Van Vliet is going to be the host of the show.
Yeah, how about it?
And then into the actual show itself, we went over some new matches at it. We went over some of the matches before. We're still not sure that main event's official, so we'll just hang back.
It hasn't been
on that.
officially announced yet.
But these matches have been officially announced, and we haven't brought them up quite yet. A 1CW spotlight match. The 1CW champion has been in Outbreak Wrestling before. He was at the last show. Mr. Grimm. I don't know if it's a title match or not, but he'll be going up against Lance Anawai. And then the last Outbreak show, the Bad Street titles, their tag team titles, which are done on the Freebird rule, it was kind of left up in turmoil because your champions went up. They kind of broke up. Trajan Horn turned on Robbie Radke. So now they're going to have a ladder match for control of the Bad Street title.
Yeah.
That's going to be an exciting match.
Yeah. It's going to be a hell of a show.
I'm a big fan of Trajan. I'm a big fan of Robbie. I remember the first time I seen him, I was like, F that. He's going to fight my boy Andy. But he earned my respect. You guys had a great match, 2 matches together.
Yeah. And
they were really good.
And
he retired too. And now he's back, which is exciting.
That happens in wrestling.
I'm happy to see him.
There's a guy who it seems, unfortunately, is retired for good.
He's a goon, baby.
Unfortunately, it seems he is retired for good now, but that's called a Terry Funk retirement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll talk about him in the future.
Yeah, it's going to be a future topic.
So Then if you haven't had enough wrestling after Legends of Hamburg, just a few days later, on July 27th and 28th on IWTV, you have the Tag Camp Grand Prix.
Mm-hmm.
When we were making a joke about another tag team tournament, this is it. It's going to be, there used to be a thing in Chicago called the Tag World Grand Prix. This is the Tag Camp Grand Prix. The winners used to have the Campeonatos de Parejas in Chicago. They were your tag team champions. These are the Campeonatos de Ranas. The winners will win that.
I love
that
it.
title.
I love it.
One match has been announced in the tournament so far officially on the Camp Leapfrog Twitter. One tournament match and one is a non-tournament match.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Your tournament match is going to be Crush Cakes. The Crusher
Brand new
and
team.
the
Mhm.
Crusher, not a new team.
Oh no, not a new team. No,
Oh, I
no.
thought it was a new team.
It's the Crusher and Pancakes.
Yes.
Yes.
They wrestled in Camp Love Frog. I believe.
Yeah, I do remember that. Now.
And they're going to be going against a team that is definitely not a new team. The Outfielders,
Yeah.
Molly McCoy and Boomer Hatfield.
And Crusher just had a birthday, I believe, yesterday, the day before.
I have the Outfielders on my mic stand.
There you go.
They are little Scott
8-bit.
Pilgrims.
Yeah. 8-bit. That's our 16-bit.
Big fan of that team.
And then the match that was a non-tournament match. It's Frog Sport Rules. Matt Mikowski and Saber Dorado.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what would have happened with Saber Dorado in that tournament if he didn't get his mask ripped off?
Yeah, that could have been the final.
Mhm.
And again, Frog Sport, anything goes. It's the almost like that honor system.
Mhm.
Like in a lucha match, that's a DQ, and he
Yeah.
would have won.
Yeah.
Darius would have been out, but Darius knew the rules of the match and took advantage.
Mhm.
And then the other big leapfrog thing upcoming, we're inside a month now until Abbey Jane's 21st birthday extravaganza.
August 8th.
The first live Leapfrog show. So if you want to come to the H2O Center in
Williamstown,
New Jersey, and get tickets now, go check out Leapfrog's website.
I believe it is a High Tension's
website and Leapfrog's Twitter to find that.
Mhm.
Come get your tickets and come hang out live. We're really excited.
And you can stay for that, and then or come
And
for
then-
that and stay for the IWTV 100.
IWT 100,
Yeah.
which is going to have a really good main event tag team match that we'll probably get into in a moment here. But it's going to be great. Two shows.
You can get your tickets at hightensionhtw.com/shop.
Yep.
You can get your tickets there. And yeah, and it should be a great time. Tickets as low as $15. Front row $20. So
Yeah,
good
not bad.
value for
Not bad at all.
wrestling.
And anything can happen at Leapfrog.
That's true. And that IWTV show too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I will be in North Carolina at the time, so I will not see it.
Yeah.
So just some things announced. No official matches announced for the Abbey Jane's birthday extravaganza appearing. So I know they're party guests. So I don't know if they're going to be wrestling. I think at least one of them is no longer wrestling. But you have some Chikara legends. Hollow Wicket will be there.
Okay.
And my personal favorite Chikara wrestler of all time, Ultramanus Black.
Yeah. He used to talk like kind of Matt Hardy, broken Matt Hardy.
Really?
Yeah.
Before Broken Matt Hardy.
And Hollow Wicket was fantastic. I believe Hollow Wicket still wrestles occasionally. Very good.
So two big names there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how you get starstruck with Orange Cassidy? That's me with Ultramanus
Really?
Black. Yeah.
So that's like your.
That is one of my favorite indie wrestlers of all
I have
time.
his shirt, but it's a little too.
I
big for
have
me.
his shirt, but it got ripped up to
and
shreds.
it says like let's all enjoy pro wrestling.
Yes, that's that's what I have. I lost the
They
pic-
don't sell it anymore.
I don't know if he sells it or not.
I don't know if he has them anymore.
I literally bought it from him in like 2007.
Yeah, that's probably when I got mine.
We should put feelers out
I had to
at camp to see if that's a thing you can still get.
I have to see if somebody I don't have the picture. It's many computers ago. It's not on this laptop here. There's a picture of me and my buddy Jack, my co-host on Pedantic and Murder My Dude. It's us taking a picture with Demolition. And this is in 2009, and I am in my Ultramanus shirt.
How nice.
And this is shortly after they wrestled Ultramanus.
Yeah, remember that at the
King of Trios.
Yeah, King of Trios. I was there.
So some people who are going to be confirmed in action wrestling on the show. Big Dan Champion will be there. He might have a good friend wrestling later that night on another show at that building. Darius Carter, the Allfather himself, will be wrestling on that show. And main event has been officially announced. And I'm assuming it's her birthday. I'm assuming Abbey Jane will probably be wrestling.
I do think.
And then stick around because that show's at 1 o'clock. And then at 5 o'clock that night, IWTV 100. Jonathan Gresham versus Adam Priest announced. Warhorse against John Wayne Murdoch. And your big main event, mixed tag match. Also, the main event is probably going to be the 100th defense of the IWTV title. No challenger name, but the champion we know now will be either the reigning champion, Wheeler Yuta, or it could be Killian McMurphy.
Yeah.
And then your other big match announced so far is Lee Moriarty and Trish Adora against Orange Cassidy and Chris Statlander.
Yeah, well,
And I don't think
score.
I don't think Trish Adora was, but those other three I know for a fact are former IWTV champions.
Yes.
Trish Adora is fucking amazing.
Yeah, that's not a slight on her to say I don't think she has been the IWTV.
Have you seen any of her matches yet?
I believe I did.
She's so good. She's so good. I'm a
She
big
was
fan.
at PPW before.
Yeah, I didn't know that. You know who else wrestled locally? And
AJ
I never.
Styles.
No, I mean like independent people who I'm really a big fan of. Masha.
Really?
Masha wrestled at Sanctuary.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
I did not know that.
Yeah, see, I've never been there, so I'm out of the loop on who was there and who wasn't.
I've been learning a lot about her.
I don't know hardly anything about her, to be honest with you.
Johnny Rod's trained her.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
The unpredictable Johnny Rod.
Yeah,
He's gonna be in Hamburg.
I think.
I'm pretty sure he's gonna be at
Yeah.
Legends of
I
Hamburg.
think I just found Brian's fucking Christmas gift. Oh, never mind. It's out of stock. Fuck. For $40.
Oh, wow.
Oh, is that
A signed mask.
Signed
wow.
Ultraman's mask. Oh, yes, the signed Ultraman's mask. Yeah.
Solar Temple.
Yeah.
Oh man, that puns me out.
I also
I'm gonna
have
find something. I'm gonna find something.
I
for
also
you.
have a Ultraman poster on my wall.
Oh,
The
wow.
old the one that's like an old Ed Wood movie.
Yeah. He had some cool merch.
Yeah, he has some very cool merch.
And vegan cookies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very, very big into veganism
Yeah, and Christmas.
and Christmas. Yeah, I brought up last episode. He has the we were talking to Adina. He has the Christmas sleeves
Yeah.
tattoos. They're very
Who
cool.
does? Ultramanus?
Yes.
Yeah. And needs to come out to like this very cool, obscure Japanese metal track.
So
How the
I
flowers
won't
travel
be the
down.
other one marking out like an 8-year-old when
Oh no.
Good.
But I act like I've been there before.
Yeah.
I
Act like you've
do.
been
I
there
do, but in my head, that's what's
yeah,
happening.
absolutely.
Yeah. In my head, I'm 8-year-olds watching Shawn Michaels come down from the rip.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how it's gonna be when Chris Statlander and Orange Cassidy's music hits. I'm gonna pee a little. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I'm fans. I'm a fan of what they do. They're very entertaining, and it's I'm ashamed that I didn't know his career before he was.
Well,
Orange Cassidy.
you don't know what you don't know.
And I
You
and
can't be mad.
it's one of those things where it's like, dude, and support your indie wrestling because you never know.
It's true.
You never know. But-
So
Unless you're Braun Strowman, then indie wrestling's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
unless you get paid
And
five figures.
Yeah, you never go there. And then one day you get released from a contract.
And now you're like, fuck me.
Yeah.
No, indie wrestling. If you've never been to an indie wrestling show, you got to do it. It's a whole different feel, whole different aesthetic. There's like punk rock atmosphere to it. It's so much fun.
Yeah, if you go to one and it's real bad, that's not all of them. Go to one that maybe the flyer looks a little bit better, or ask around, say what's a good one if you see a couple.
I kind of try to tell Tony because like you got kind of spoiled by PPW. That's not every indie fan.
Yeah,
Like
PPW,
they
Outbreak.
run a good ship there.
some are shitty,
Outbreak runs a pretty good ship.
and some
Like,
are good, but you gotta just do your
I think
your research a
never
little
mind.
bit.
I don't want-
PPW and Outbreak.
I
They're,
went to
they're
one
kind of
where I
the
was like-
creme de la creme.
I went to one where I was like, oh boy,
Yeah,
this is not PPW or Outbreak.
sometimes they are bad.
Yeah.
And you just gotta. I mean, if you go to bad one, don't let that ruin it. All of them, they're not all like.
And they all have their own unique charm.
Yeah.
Even the
Yeah.
bad ones.
All right, everything else?
No, that's pretty much everything for indie wrestling. We kind of mentioned it, like the closing out July. We have the women's Super 8. We talked about it earlier.
Mhm.
I believe that's going to be on IWTV on July 31st. Yeah, it's pretty much everything.
We're gonna skip. We talked a little bit. Hopefully, the audio will be fine. But if the video, hope we talked a little bit about the Aleister Black thing.
Mhm.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see
Oh
him.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I
Kinda-
like the segment.
Kind of
except for
disappointed that
Excalibur.
his first rival is gonna be Cody. I'm not gonna lie.
I hope he has to beat him, right?
Yeah.
He has to beat him.
We have a group chat. I kind of shared my fantasy booking because we've said on the show, like after Brody Lee passed, who would, if you could have anybody to lead the Dark Order, Tommy End.
Yeah.
Perfect fit. So what I would do, and this I know people hate fantasy booking, but have Malachi Black win his feud with Cody.
Mhm.
Have Hangman Page dethrone Kenny Omega. The Dark Order lift him up on his shoulders. You have that big celebration. You've slayed the giant, and then Malachi Black takes over the Dark
Were you
Order.
watching for this, Tony?
Yeah. Oh, when the Evolution.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Randy
if you were watching.
Orton?
Yeah.
And then Malachi Black corrupts the Dark Order against
Yeah. evil again.
their
Evolution
Hangman.
got me back into wrestling.
And you know what they could do? They can maybe possibly like take Anna Jay out of it, and maybe John Silver.
Yeah, some of them were fun people.
Yeah. That's that way. It's more of a group
Yeah.
of like evil thugs.
It
Maybe
could be like what how the Japanese perceive the Bullet Club,
Mhm.
but in America.
But more with a
Darker
satanic
yeah,
twist.
more
for
like
lack of better-
like a even more like a
the Ministry of Darkness or whatever. Yeah, like
like a little more occult than that.
Yeah.
Maybe you can even make, there was already an indie wrestler with this name. I was gonna say maybe we can make Anna Jay Jungle Girl,
Joe.
Oh boy. Yeah.
but they don't really seem to put people with their
Yeah,
necessarily
yeah.
with their partners there.
Yeah.
Well, some of them you can't because one of them works in WWE.
Most of them you
So-
can actually.
Let's get into our topic tonight.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, come on.
We got beans, taters.
Brian was like, listen, I really, really want to do this.
We got beer in cans.
Look, we have. You always talk about some things like the Mount Rushmore, and I don't know if Jimmy Hart's on my Mount Rushmore of managers. I don't know if he's 4 or 5 for me. He's probably number 4.
He would be in a top 10 list, I
Yeah.
would say.
Yeah.
I think he's pretty clearly in my top 5.
Okay.
managers.
He's my top 5.
He's not in the top 3 because for me the top 3 is pretty set.
Yeah.
Who's your top 3?
The number
I can
1
guess.
is very set,
Yeah.
and the other 2 are
Number 1
Bobby.
is Bobby Heenan.
Bobby
Yeah.
Heenan is number 1 because if you ask number 2 and number 3,
Cornette.
Cornette.
And Paulie.
yes, and if you ask Cornette and Paul Lee who the best manager ever is, they're going to tell you Bobby Heenan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why Bobby Heenan's number 1, and then number 4 might be Jimmy Hart. I'm trying to think. It's
Hart, for me, it's really close between Hart and Sherry.
I would say Sherry.
Sherry's up there. Hart was a better promo than Sherry though.
Colonel Robert Parker. No.
Dude, I just realized we did 2 manager valets in that. Did you?
No,
We didn't even plan that.
Yeah.
Jimmy Hart just for Legends of
happened.
Hamburg, and he's had a very interesting career. He's been in a lot of wrestling history. But yeah, I think the more I think of it, I think he would be my number 4. Sherry would probably be 5, just because Jimmy could talk a little more.
Yeah.
They were both good at getting involved, but Jimmy was a little better talking.
And he's more of a character. Well, no, Sherry's character too.
Mhm.
But he's more, I don't know, energetic for sure.
Luna is definitely my 6.
See, Luna, I would not have her on me. She would make my top 10.
Yeah, if I'm thinking like other people, I'm kind of ragged. That's definitely my top 5 because I'm struggling after
Because, like,
that.
Bam Bam Sean, that's it. Probably.
Yeah.
I really liked her with Bam Bam though.
I
And
mean,
Vince Sean.
I
and
She was
Sean.
good. I
In my
liked
mind,
Luna.
she's more of a wrestler.
Yeah.
Sorry, I drew my tag up.
Yeah, I think she's very good. It's just I that's my top 5 because I can't even like if somebody's like who's number 6. I'm like,
Yeah.
Paul Ellering. Someone's in the chat.
Paul
Oh, yeah,
Ellering.
Paul Ellering was good. What's his name from NWA? Bald guy. Goatee.
Gary Hart.
Gary Hart.
Gary Hart
was very good.
Gary
yes.
Hart was very good. Yeah.
Paul Jones would not like the top 10.
Well, let's learn about Jimmy.
The Grand Wizard. Blast. Yeah, let's talk about Jimmy Hart. That's what we're talking about here. He was born January 1st, 1943. He does not seem to look or act like a 78-year-old man. He is very energetic to this day. He looks good.
And yeah, he looks fairly the same.
Classic
Classic
Freddy
flavor. That's
Blassie,
okay. Pennsylvania.
Albano.
Yeah, yeah,
usually-
Albano.
Albano would probably be my 5
Yeah.
or 4 or 6.
Sonny.
Sonny was very good. Yeah, Sonny, especially if you look at some of that Smoky Mountain stuff, she could talk.
Yeah. She could cut a good promo.
Yeah. It was like everybody like thinks her. She was so hot.
Mhm.
No, she had something behind it too. Missy Hyatt too.
Yeah.
was
Mr.
very
Hyatt was
like
good
that,
manager
yeah.
of the day.
But
Teddy
anyway,
Long. Anyway, go on.
all these people I put Jimmy Hart probably a little bit ahead of them.
Yeah.
And he was born in Jackson, Mississippi, but raised in Memphis, Tennessee, which he has become synonymous with. The Mouth of the South. That was his longtime nickname. He had other ones later on, but he was always the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. He attended Treadwell High School in Memphis, where he was a little ahead of this person, but he that is also the high school that brought us Jerry the King Lawler.
Ooh.
They went to the same high school in
fuck?
Memphis, Treadwell.
Dude, I can't even name one person who I graduated with within a 10-year window who did anything as like super, super cool.
Anything remotely other than just normal.
And
everyday
fucking
living.
that school had Jimmy Hart and fucking
I know.
Jerry the King
And
Lawler.
Minnesota had 12 wrestlers.
Yeah.
Somebody that graduated from my high school was a referee for ECW, and
Molyneux?
no,
Finnegan?
and we're friends with his brother's podcast. Mike
Oh.
Keener went to my house,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
and he was a referee toward the end of ECW, and I know that one town over was I think they had different high schools then. Burt Cooper, who was a boxer, he was the first guy to ever knock down Evander Holyfield.
Wow.
He was from that area.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Jimmy Hart and Jerry Lawler both went to this high school, and Jimmy was a musician as a kid, and so were a bunch of other people in that high school. This is the early, or when he's graduating high school, we're in the early '60s. Rock and roll is at its peak, and they form a band, a group
Tag team.
called the Gentrys, and I think there was about 6 of them, or 6 or 7 of them, just a big rock and roll group. They became a pretty big local act. They won 2nd place in the Mid-South Talent Fair. They won the Memphis Battle of the Bands in 1964, and they got signed to a local record label, Youngstown Records. Memphis is legendary for its music. Sun Records, Stax Records, there's so many of them there.
I'm trying to think of their hit song, and I can't.
And their big hit came out in 1965, Keep On Dancing.
Keep on dancing.
Peaked at number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100. It was a big hit.
Yeah.
It was a very big hit.
And that's back like when you'd have the little records of what were they, the 45s?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they were very big then because you buy the one song and there was no song on their side. But
Keep On
huge.
Dancing was their big one. It was actually covered and became a hit again in England, in the UK. It was covered by the Bay City Rollers early in their career. They worked pretty much a one-hit wonder. That was their only big song. They did stick around for a little bit.
mean, to the world, maybe a one-hit wonder, but to us, he has many hits.
Oh, I could name a bunch of them. Lance Russell's Nose. Eat Your Heart Out, Rick Springfield.
Yeah.
We'll talk about some of them later. Terry Funk actually recorded Lance Russell's Nose, but
Really?
they changed it. He had this album in Japan called Great Texan. And nobody in Japan knows who Lance Russell is.
yeah.
So it was Barbara Streisand's Nose in Japan.
Oh God.
Maybe
That's how over he was. He had an album.
well, back then there were not. Yeah, in Japan.
I mean, so
Yeah.
did Mantra Man.
Yeah, but that was more of a
Japan.
joke.
Bob Sapp had an album there.
God.
Boss Rutan had an album in Japan. But Jimmy Hart, the Gentrys broke up around 1967, and he was still very prolific in the music industry locally. He did work with production. He worked with Sun Records. And music and Treadwell High School would be how he got into the wrestling business. He was always a fan. But the 70s were really the time for the novelty record. Freddie Blassie had one, Pencil Neck Geek. Like, if you were like even a local celebrity, you would get a novelty record sometimes. I know in Philadelphia, there was a hockey goon, Dave the Hammer Schultz, and he came out with like this novelty song. Like, it was like, Baby, Don't Put Me in Your Penalty Box.
Yeah, and
or
you
something
usually
like that.
just talk over, kind of like the wrestlers entrance music back in the day.
Like NFL teams when they
Yeah,
do
like
like
Super Bowl Shuffle, but this is
Yeah,
10 years
yeah.
before.
and
Where it's music and they're just kind of talking. They're not rapping.
That's what Pencil Neck Geek was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we are the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't say the R word.
Yeah. But
No.
the granddaddy was always
When I say R, real quick, when I say R word, I mean a football team.
Yeah,
Yeah, not
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah. Sorry.
The name that the Washington football team was formerly known as. But no, the big one that spawned all those was the Super Bowl Shuffle. And then the Eagles did one too. It's called Buddies Watching You.
Yeah. We wanted to know if Lee said, I wonder if Eddie, with his music collection, has that 45.
Keep on dancing? Maybe.
Eddie.
Eddie Collins.
Oh, he
His
might.
whole
Yeah,
attic
yeah,
is
he might.
He's like a historian.
Yeah.
We're going to find that out.
Yeah, look up to the Gentry.
If he does, we can go get it signed by Jimmy Hart for him.
Yeah.
He would love this time.
Lee, if you're still listening, message him and see if he does and get it, because I'll take it to Hamburg and get him to sign
Ask
it.
if he has anything by the Gentrys. If he does,
Oh, Jimmy Hart would love that too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so we actually have
And like, there's a guy.
Baby, look at this.
There's a guy in our area who's a local vinyl historian, and if he had that vinyl, that'd be huge.
Yeah,
That'd be sick.
that would be cool.
Yeah.
So the reason the way Jimmy Hart gets into wrestling in Memphis is one of these people that wants to make a novelty record is Jerry Lawler. He's now the biggest star in Memphis. This is the late 70s. He's the king.
This is not Andy Kaufman or after.
This is pre-Andy Kaufman. This is
Okay.
a few years before that. Andy Kaufman was like 84, I think. 83,
Okay.
84. And so Lawler, Hart helped produce a novelty record for Lawler. I think Lawler even did a record where it wasn't even like novelty, just did covers
Yeah,
of popular songs, and Hart would do the musical arrangements. And I think at this time, Lawler was a heel in Memphis, and he brought in Hart as his manager.
I don't know if you know this or not, but did like Jimmy actually play the instruments?
he
Or
plays
was,
yeah.
guitar. I think
Yeah,
he
he would
plays
play
more than
guitar.
guitar. No, he definitely plays guitar.
because I know
Yeah.
like now
He
you can play a
sings.
keyboard with presets that make it sound like guitar or drums.
He
I don't
played
know if
an actual guitar.
Yeah.
I probably could play keyboard. I think Jimmy played a couple of.
and like
Yeah.
drums. And
Well,
That's
stuff.
why he always had the keyboard or the piano gold sunglasses.
Well, that's what I thought, because of the piano. Maybe
Yeah.
he just had the synthesizer that made it sound like a guitar, and he would just use the keyboard.
No, because it was the 60s.
Yeah, he was doing this in the 60s.
There
and
was
70s.
no synthesizer.
Yeah.
And we'll
I'm
get
sure he could play a synthesizer.
we'll get into his musical accomplishments
Yeah.
later too. He
All American boy.
the best wrestling song ever made. It's
I
my
don't know.
alarm on my. What are you going to say is better?
Yeah.
It's another Jimmy Hart song.
Yeah, it is. I
It
was
is.
going to say the song you're thinking of is Jimmy Hart too. So
Grab them cakes. Is that
no, that was
Grab
the
cakes.
Sexy
Gonna
boy.
Do I have?
what was that guy's name? David Wolf, Cyndi Lauper's
Oh,
ex.
okay.
He put out a rap album as Captain Chameleon.
Oh my God.
And the two songs on it were Grab Them Cakes, and he had a song called Jive Old Foe, like
Almost
Jive
like-
Old Fool.
Yeah.
And that got reworked into Jive
Yeah, so
Soul
bro,
Bro,
wow,
which
so
is
he-
another one of the
He gave
all-time
us one
great
of the best
wrestling
wrestling
songs.
songs ever.
Holy fuck.
I want the wrestling album, like the physical vinyl. I want that.
I had the cassette.
Yeah, I actually have it on a CD, but I want that. And then there's the wrestling album too, which I
Pile
would also
Driver.
like. Yeah.
Yeah.
My love for you is like a pile driver. It's horrible, but I want it.
It was horrible. It was great.
Yeah.
So Lawler is he brings Hart in as his heel manager. Jerry Lawler eventually turns babyface, but Jimmy Hart remains for about the next 7 years the #1 heel manager in Memphis. Back then called the Continental Wrestling Alliance. And so he managed a bunch of people there. He was like the lead heel manager, usually up against Jerry Lawler, because most of the time Jerry Lawler was a babyface.
Yeah. And Jimmy Hart being a small guy.
Yeah, little
little scrappy manager getting in people's faces, and then they one bump and he's down.
They kept calling it, like later on, this is when Ghostbusters came out. They did a thing where Lawler would keep calling him a wimp. And they came out with a song and a shirt, Wimp Busters, and it was like a little ghost with Jimmy Hart's face. And they did a parody of the Ghostbuster song, which
Jerry probably drew that himself.
Yeah,
Jerry's a good artist.
Yeah,
Jerry drew it, and then Jimmy Hart did the music for Wimp Busters. And so just some of the people that Jimmy Hart would wind up managing in Memphis: Tommy Rich,
somebody say something about
fired up, beautiful Bobby Eaton.
Oh, there we go.
The Macho Man, Randy Savage, Jesse Ventura. He managed to, he painted him up with thermite.
I'm totally off the grid in Mexico.
Lesser known, but a big star in Memphis, the Dream Machine, Troy Graham, Dory Funk Jr., Jack Briscoe, another
brother.
Another big Memphis star is Joe LeDuc, Sweet Stan Lane, Kevin Sullivan. This is just sampling. Some guy, Terry the Hulk Boulder, whatever happened to him. And even there's Wimp Busters.
You can get a sticker of it on TeePublic for
That's awesome.
$2.50.
And even the legendary Andy Kaufman was managed briefly by Jimmy Hart. And they did make, we were talking about novelty records. I brought up Lance Russell's nose because Lance Russell was known for having a we're looking at a Wimp Busters tank top now.
Yeah.
Lance Russell,
everything on TeePublic.
I know, it's insane.
Lance Russell was the Jim Ross or the Gordon Solie of Memphis. He was the loved and respected announcer. And he did have a pretty big nose. He had they would say like a banana. Terry Funk would always call him a banana nose. And so Jimmy Hart had a song called Lance Russell's Nose. He had another song called We Hate School that became kind of a local hit. And he was most known for his feud with Lawler in Memphis. He did work in with the Kaufman feud too. But in 1985, one of the guys who had just...
Sorry, didn't the whole Kaufman connection come through Apter and Jimmy Hart?
I believe they always say Bill Apter. They always say that Bill Apter is like, no, you'll be a good fit in Memphis.
Because I know that when they did the whole thing, Jimmy Hart was part of it.
Yeah, he was
like, because he was there when Lawler gave up his crown from it. His suit, he gave up his suit for the TV show, and they also find the neck brace that Bill Apter had, but Jimmy Hart was there to like kind of.
Why don't Kaufman called Bill Apter?
Yeah,
and then that's Bill Apter was connection to Jerry Lawler, and that's how
because I guess WWF didn't want to, they weren't interested, and so they were like, Memphis will do it. Memphis will do anything. So so there were parts where like Lawler or Hart would manage Kaufman against Lawler. There was a part where like they did a thing where they acted like Jimmy Hart turned on Kaufman, and so that then Kaufman was begging Lawler to be his partner, but it was a swerve because Kaufman turned on Lawler in the match, and they just beat up Lawler, and so they would always do. Memphis had crazy booking. Memphis was like just the wildest stuff ever. They had Tagar, the Lord of the Volcano. They just did so many crazy things there.
And they would have bookers that rotate. So you
Yeah.
book for 6 months, and then you take a break, and someone else would take over.
Yeah,
and then
usually-
you come back.
Usually
Sometimes they do 3 people.
it was usually 2.
Yeah.
It was usually
Bill
Jerry
Dundee.
Jarrett and Jerry Lawler because they were co-owners of the territory. And usually it would be more reasonable when Jerry Jarrett was the booker. And then when Jerry Lawler would take over, it would just go nuts. And you would have the Lord of the Volcano, and you would have
It's actually not a terrible
Super Duper
idea.
Mario
Like
and-
every 6 months, change up the right. Like
No, it's
the
a great
the head
idea.
booker
Yeah.
and give new ideas. And,
Get some fresh blood. Give the guy a break.
and give the guy 6 months to think of something like long-term booking wise.
Yeah, just imagine if somebody booked like from WrestleMania to SummerSlam, and then somebody booked from SummerSlam to WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like that.
Or there's a guy booked, and then the other guy was like, "I don't like any of it. Write it, rewrite it right now."
Oh, that's what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. An hour before the show.
So in 1985, Hart is still in Memphis, and one of the people that left Memphis around this time wrestled there as Harley Davidson, but we would know him better as Hillbilly Jim,
Yeah.
a friend of Jimmy Hart's, and he recommends this manager because I think at this time you're phasing out. They always call them the 3 wise men because you have the 3 main heel managers in WWF and forever throughout the 70s. It was Blassie, the Grand Wizard, and Lou Albano. And at this point in 85, it's really Heenan, Blassie and Albano, I think, still. Because the Grand Wizard had passed. Blassie was starting to wind down and retire. And Albano was turning babyface because the girls just want to have fun thing. He turned babyface through that. So they're bringing in new blood for managing. This is around the time they bring in Jimmy Hart because Hillbilly Jim recommends him, and they look him out and bring him in. And then Slick comes in shortly after that, and then Mr. Fuji's becoming a manager because he's winding down his in-ring career. So for a while there, your three big managers were Blassie, Jimmy Hart, and Heenan. And they had some other people doing like little things here. And so Hart comes in with Greg the Hammer Valentine, who was the reigning Intercontinental Champion at the time. And he was also the first manager there for King Kong Bundy. And so at the first WrestleMania, he manages Bundy, and Bundy wins against SD Jones in record time. They said 6 seconds was more like probably.
You know what
40.
confused me as a young wrestling fan, though?
What?
Why Jimmy Hart wasn't with the Hart Foundation?
He was.
Yeah, he was.
But I'm like, why wasn't he like? Were they like? 'Cause I always thought they were related.
Yeah, it's
Like
spelled
when they
exactly the
weren't
same way.
together, I was like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
That's because he came in at the wrong time.
Yeah. I just because I'm a kid. I was a kid.
But yeah, and you're like,
I just see Hart.
Are they brothers? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no relation. It's both their real last names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he comes in with the Hart Foundation isn't even here yet.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. For this time, I was like,
and then also at the WrestleMania 1, Valentine retains the Intercontinental title against the Junkyard Dog by losing by countout. But shortly after this, Valentine would lose the Intercontinental title to Tito Santana, who will be at Legends of Hamburg as well.
met
Wow.
him in Canada once.
And so Valentine gets shifted into tag teams. So Jimmy Hart's managing Valentine, and they team him up with Brutus Beefcake, who was being managed by Johnny Valiant at the time. And they win the tag titles, and they had co-managers for a little bit, but eventually they both kind of get pushed off on the Valiant. And Bundy gets traded. They had a managerial trade. Bundy got traded to Bobby Heenan because they were getting gassed up for or hyped up for WrestleMania 2. And Bobby Heenan was your main event manager. Like if you were a main event heel, Heenan was your guy.
Yeah.
So Heenan gets Bundy, and Heenan gets Bundy, and Hart gets the missing link who didn't last too long.
No.
And a guy who did last with Jimmy Hart for a while, Adrian Adonis.
Yeah.
And this is when you start to shift Adrian Adonis into the adorable Adrian Adonis gimmick. And then Hart would get a few more clients over the next couple of years. The Hart Foundation. At first it was just Jim Neidhart, and then they brought Brett in too. But when they were there as heels, because their first couple of years where they were heels.
And they had the black and blue.
Yeah, and Jimmy was their manager. And that's, I think when he became their managers, they went to the pink and black.
Yeah.
And then he also got the heel referee that helped the Hart Foundation beat the Bulldogs for the tag team titles. Dangerous Danny Davis, also going to be at Legends of Hamburg.
And I think who he was with after the Hart Foundation.
And then he also had the Funks at this time. You had Terry Funk was there. Dory Funk Jr. was there as Hoss Funk. And you had the fake Funk, Jimmy Jack Funk, who was actually another famous wrestling family. He was Jesse Barr. His father, Sandy Barr, was a legendary wrestler in Portland, and his brother, Art Barr, was well ahead of his time. He was a juicer, and then he became an incredible heel in Mexico and lost him way before his time.
I think he died. He was like 32.
Really?
I think he was younger than that.
That's something.
And him and Guerrero were about to come in the ECW.
Yeah.
And they would have went to the moon.
Yeah.
Was that like a Brody Lee situation
No,
back then where it was like young? I'm saying young and lost and like,
well,
fuck,
it was
sucks.
drugs. Yeah.
Well, it's not saying Brody Lee was drugs.
Yeah.
No, Art Barr.
Like someone you're like, man, this person's about to take off.
Yeah,
he was.
I mean, it at this time you wouldn't be able to get away with it now because, well, then again, there's a guy, Sam Adonis, Corey Graves' brothers, doing a similar thing. They were a tag team in Mexico. Art Barr went to Mexico as the American Love Machine, and he just wore a mask with a big heart, and he had like American gear. I think it was a good guy. I think it was a technical at the time. And then he turned heel, and he was like, he took his mask off, or he lost his mask. And he had Eddie Guerrero as part of the famous Guerrero wrestling family, the youngest of the Guerrero brothers, of Gory's kids. He turned him heel too. And they became like pro-American, anti-Mexican heels in Mexico.
Yeah.
Los Gringos Locos. Art Barr would lay on the mat and pretend he was swimming, like he was trying to swim across the border.
Oh my God.
Crazy.
They would do
people.
some crazy stuff. They talk about how they hated Mexicans. They loved America.
But here's the thing. Like, that is so obviously inappropriate and bad. But like, in pro wrestling
for a heel character, a bad guy.
but that was like normal. Like you kind of played into racial stereotypes.
Oh, back then, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
60s, 70s, 80s.
And here's the thing too: you're doing that in Mexico with a probably Mexican booker, a Mexican tag team partner. Like they're giving it the okay because they know it's going to generate.
Yeah, they still do things like Sam Adonis is the guy I'm talking about. He's Corey Graves' brother. He did something similar. He had like an American flag with Donald Trump's face on it in Mexico.
Yeah.
Even before him, there was R.J. Brewer, who was formerly Hurricane John Walters. And his whole thing was like he was this right-wing American. That was his gimmick.
Do you think a openly racist character could work today's times?
Openly racist? No.
Or do you think
it
people would be
shut down? I mean, but like,
do you think wrestling fans would be like realizing that the person's not really racist and he's playing a character?
Not most wrestling fans.
Or do you think it'd be like that's too in bad taste? Don't do that.
I think it would be like, we realize this isn't really this guy, but it's important. Like that's kind of what happened to Jack Swagger.
Yeah.
With the We the People thing.
Yeah.
Then some fans won't. They'll be like, "Oh, he is like that." But then you get them people. I like him because he don't like them people.
And you know what? You know what's great about those characters is then we can point you out easier.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're like, oh.
But yeah, like back even in the early '90s, like you could have your over the top gay gimmick. You could have your evil, sneaky foreign heel, like every Japanese wrestler has.
That's the
if
thing
you're
too.
German, you're not.
Like if you're an openly gay character, because the stereotype. I just want to kind of put devil's advocate out here. Like people are like, oh, well, why can't they do that stuff anymore? Because I'm not saying I'm not advocating for it. I'm just asking the question, how would it be seen?
Negative.
So I want, exactly. And that's what I was getting at. I wasn't asking it because I was sticking up for it. I just want to be very clear. But like if you're right now, if I were to come out and play, I'm going to be a wrestler and I'm going to play an openly gay character, but I'm straight and I'm stereotyping that thing.
Yeah.
When that representation is in wrestling and it doesn't have to be a character, it's just a person who is gay. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of that way.
Or even somebody like Jake Atlas, where it's not really even a part of his character; it's just who he is.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but that's the
or
thing
somebody like Effie who really takes it and runs with it too. Like there's a few ways.
So it's not like you're a straight dude taking someone else's lifestyle and trying to make a gimmick out of it,
right?
Like that.
And usually when it was a gay character like adorable Adrian Adonis, that's probably the most classic one. That character was that way because they wanted to get heat and they wanted them to channel word that I'm not going to say.
Yeah,
that is what that is for.
Just like Goldust.
Yeah. Being a gay character was considered always being bad. You were bad because being gay is bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Where that's not what wrestling is now. And
exactly.
That's a good thing.
Wrestling is gay.
Yeah.
According to my t-shirt.
Hey.
I love that shirt, by the way.
So with getting back to the this is around the time that Adrian Adonis is in Jimmy Hart's in group here. This is around WrestleMania 3. Adonis has a huge match with Piper. The Hart Foundation are the tag team champions at this time. And the other big client that Jimmy Hart gets around 87, he started as a babyface. It flopped miserably. They turned him heel real quick, and it got really good. The Honky Tonk Man, maybe the person Jimmy Hart's most associated with. Manager.
I think that's where I remember him more from.
And this is where he gets his nickname too, the Colonel. He becomes the Colonel, the Mouth of the South. He had a few nicknames here. So in 1987, let's see what Jimmy Hart's doing in 1987. The Hart Foundation beat the British Bulldogs for the WWF Tag Team titles. A few months later, right after WrestleMania 3, Honky Tonk Man beats Ricky Steamboat for the Intercontinental title. And toward the end of the year, this is not a title that lasted long at this point. He led the Glamour Girls, Leilani Kai and Judy Martin, to the WWF Ladies Tag Team titles.
Wow.
So he was managing 3 champions at different parts of the year. No big surprise that in 1987, Jimmy Hart is your Pro Wrestling Illustrated Manager of the Year. And then he was also involved behind the scenes. We kind of brought this up a little bit. He wrote a lot of the theme songs for especially his wrestlers. He wrote the $1 Million Man's theme, which wasn't his guy. He wrote the Legion of Doom theme.
The Money, Money, Money?
Yeah, that was Jimmy Hart. Legion of Doom, the Honky Tonk Man, Bret Hart, the Hart Foundation music, which is still music Bret Hart would use.
The Rougeau.
The Rougeau brothers, Shawn Michaels.
That guitar riff in fucking Bret Hart's music is amazing.
That initial guitar riff wasn't in the original version.
I was actually looking because in my head, I was like, did Jimmy Hart have an LJN? And he didn't. I can't find one.
I think he did.
I think he did have an LJN. I don't know if he had a Hasbro.
Oh, wait, the LJN?
You mean
was
the big hard ones?
I'm talking about the
little ones?
Yeah.
Those are Hasbros.
Yeah. He didn't have a Hasbro.
I think he had an LJN because Johnny Valiant had an LJN.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he had a big one. And there was a Miss Elizabeth one, and there was a Freddie Blassie one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he would have had a LJN. But they're kind of called the dog toys.
And I'm sure he has the WWE.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Jimmy Hart had a
Yeah, I see it here.
yeah, and he had a WCW action figure too.
Yeah, I see the
which
WCW.
apparently it's rare because it's on eBay for $400.
Oh wow.
And the LGN is only 25, but it's out of box and stuff. So the Harts lost the tag team titles to Strikeforce. They turned babyface not too long after.
That was
Tito and Rick
I was
Martel.
gonna say,
Tito,
let's see if
Tito.
he gets it. Let's
yeah,
see what he
I know
says.
Tito was
Oh.
one. Yeah,
Sorry.
Tito. I didn't know. I wouldn't have got
Yeah.
Rick Martel.
We kind of brought this up during the Robbinsdale High episode way far back because it probably wasn't Strikeforce that was earmarked to win that tag team title because they were playing these things out pretty far in advance. It was probably supposed to be the Can-Am Connection, which was Rick Martel and Tom Zink.
You know why they're called the Can-Am Connection? This is good. 'Cause
Canadian
it's so-
American?
Yep, because it's
Yeah.
so stupid.
It's a guy from Quebec and a guy from Minnesota.
Love
But Tom Zink found out Rick Martel was making a lot more money than him, and he wound up quitting, so they put Tito with him.
Okay.
And so now it's instead of Canadian American, it's a Canadian and Mexican guy.
Yep.
And they win the tag titles. We wind up losing to,
Strikeforce.
Demolition.
And they strike in the middle.
Yeah, they did a real lame promo like WrestleMania 2 or 3 or something.
And so
He has
Jimmy Hart.
boxes of LGNs.
What?
He said he has boxes.
Oh
of
wow, that's
LGNs.
awesome, man.
So with Jimmy Hart, once the Harts turn babyface, he brings in the Rougeau brothers to kind of do a double turn. And well, that was a little bit later. The one thing, the original feud after the Harts was the Young Stallions because Jimmy Hart made that song "Crank It Up" and he was supposed to use it for the Rougeau brothers, but something happens where it winds up in the Young Stallions song. And they would use it for like just random people. Like if somebody's going to try out, that would be their music.
Yeah.
Forever. I think The Rock had it for his first match.
Didn't 100 people use Kurt Angle's song before
Patriot.
The Patriot.
But,
We
like,
should have brought that up.
but every American character.
I think it was
before
just
that.
the Patriot.
There was a Survivor Series where there was like a Team America or
Probably, yeah.
that
Yeah.
like every time that something America was used,
Mhm.
that
Like
was the
default
song.
American- just
Maybe
like,
Mark Henry used it for when he wrestled
my
very
first,
well.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
But the
all
Patriot
the
definitely did.
Asian characters all had the
The Orient Express thing. Written
Every-
by Jimmy Hart.
Yeah, everyone from about like 86 till 93
Yeah.
used that theme.
Kind of like everybody in WCW used the Sonny Ono Kasayashi theme.
Yeah.
Every Asian in WCW. So yeah, they would just stereotype their music. So the Fabulous Rougeau brothers became Jimmy Hart's new tag team. Later, they did the great thing where they're moving from Quebec to Memphis, and that's where you get the greatest wrestling theme of all time, All American Boys.
Yeah.
From that. They went against the Bushwhackers. I always remember the one promo where one of the Bushwhackers was like, "You're not the Rougeau brothers, you're the Ragu sisters." That's his big line.
Yo, I didn't know until like doing this podcast with you guys that the Bushwhackers were like a legit serious.
Oh, the
team.
sheep herders.
Yeah,
they were
and then
nuts.
They just came to WWE and
They
took it easy.
goofballed them up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like they were like making people bloody. Like, yeah, the sheep herders are vicious.
They're like violent.
yeah.
And now then they come to WWE and they're licking people's
And they're the
heads.
goofiest team ever.
And do you know who their flag bearer was when they were the sheep herders in the NWA?
Mm-mm.
He's a very, very prominent executive in WWE now.
And he
talks like
I was gonna say, hey Vince,
Oh,
your arms look good today. I'm sorry, but we gotta let you go. You're fired.
Johnny, right?
Yeah, Johnny Ace was their flag bearer.
That's crazy.
And so he would also take over managing in '89. Jimmy would take over managing Dino Bravo because they were letting Frenchie Martin go. That was his old manager. He would soon be joined by the Canadian Earthquake. Soon to just be Earthquake.
Yeah.
In late 1989.
Well, you Hogan.
Yeah, he would. Earthquake would squash Hulk Hogan when he went out to film Suburban Commando, and then Hogan would beat him by count out at SummerSlam 1990. Greg Valentine would come back to Jimmy Hart as part of Rhythm and Blues with Honky Tonk Man. That was when Greg Valentine, who always had the blonde hair,
Dyed it
Oh,
black.
dyed it jet black to look like Roy Orbison.
Yeah, that was rough.
More people need to bring that back in wrestling.
It's
Switching your
different.
hair color, totally. When
What
you
if-
turn heel or
Well,
face.
I mean, people do different facial hair and they lose their minds.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm trying to think. Who do you,
Kenny and the Bucks just did their facial.
oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And then they got rid of it.
To
Yeah.
be funny.
Well,
Yeah.
the thing was with Greg Valentine was he was a big heel back in the territory days where you wanted your heels to be bleached blonde because it looked better when they bled.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then nobody's bleeding in 1991 WWF,
No.
so you can dye your hair.
That's why you
But
live
he-
that one streak.
Yeah. Yeah.
In case you do.
If
see a
that
little
was bloody,
color.
it would be totally red.
Well, I mean, Nolo does have a sword, so that might
Yeah.
happen.
That's a disqualification. Come on, you can't put a sword in. This is a death match.
Especially not in the WYL.
Yeah.
Family show.
Yeah.
It's against the
sure.
rules.
That is. I got to create the WYLN
Rules.
cable access rules.
Do you kind of wish that maybe you were a heel? With the
Yeah,
title?
because 15-minute draws like every
I
other
can still
TV champion.
say goofy things with it, but yeah.
That was always the gimmick.
Are
with
you
the
gonna
TV
ask for
title.
mic time?
This
so
is
you
in
can...
the WYLN handbook. What can be done and what cannot
And
be
you
done
bring
on
like
the
a
channel.
list.
Well, I wouldn't do that because that's direct.
That's
Well, not like a
heel,
list,
yeah.
but like you bring the book out.
Yeah.
And just write WLN rule on it.
You should just plug other shows. Like, make sure you watch.
Yeah, the best would be you get a book and it's clearly a piece of masking tape that says WYLN rule book written on it.
Do you know, like back in the day?
I hope they give you more. Are you going to ask for it, or are you just going to kind of see what they ask you? Huh?
You don't ask for.
It's always better to beg for forgiveness than ask for permission.
Oh, yeah. That's my bad. Anyway, I can't wait.
You know, like back in the day, like for old NWA shows, like with their program, they would have a copy. You could get a copy of the NWA rule book.
Yeah,
they had like an official rule book.
Yeah, like you have to break the move if they grab the rope and stuff like that.
You should get that and just put a piece of tape over.
Oh, if I get that, I'm keeping that.
That's such a heel thing. That's such a heel thing, though.
Yeah.
So in the 90s, around this time, Jimmy Hart's really going to become more of like your Lou Albano, where he's mainly managing in the tag team division.
Mm-hmm.
And he managed the Nasty Boys. They beat the Hart Foundation for the tag team titles.
So now, like, I'm trying to get
also going to be at Legends of Hamburg.
Yeah, the timeline wise, I remember the Nasty Boys and Hogan the most.
I remember Hogan the most. When I think Jimmy Hart, for some reason, Hogan comes right.
I think Hoggy Tug Man.
Yeah,
he was never with Lex, right?
WCW was.
Okay, I do remember. I thought
it was a little bit. It was a kind of an
90.
You probably know
96,
95.
95.
You might know this from when you were rewatching those WCW pay-per-views, because it was around that time, like the Nitro era pay-per-views.
Yeah,
because Luger was like he was friends with Sting, was like, you can't trust him.
Oh yeah, but he's back, and then they won the tag titles.
And Jimmy Hart was a heel manager, and he brought Jimmy Hart as his manager. He's like, oh, you really can't trust me. Just hire Jimmy Hart. He's a weasel.
Yeah.
So at this point, yeah, he leads the Nasty Boys to the tag titles in '91. They lose them to the LOD later that year at SummerSlam. He managed the Natural Disasters.
I think he managed the Natural Disasters.
Yeah, when they were going against LOD. And then he kind of did the swerve where he jumps from the Natural Disasters to Money Inc., a brand new impromptu tag team. I remember just turning on Superstars one day. Breaking news, the Legion of Doom have lost the tag team titles to Money Incorporated. What the hell is Money Incorporated?
Yeah.
It's like, it's Ted DiBiase, IRS, and Jimmy Hart.
Yeah.
I do remember that tag team. I don't remember being a huge fan of him being with the $1 Million Man.
Yeah,
I feel like $1 Million Man didn't need a manager.
But he always had one.
Yeah,
he went from Virgil to Sherry to Jimmy.
Yeah.
Like, he always had one.
I mean, but he had a manager, but like I feel like Jimmy is the wrong manager.
Yeah, because he was always a manager that couldn't talk.
They should have just put like a hot chick with $1 Million Man.
Well, they had Sherry.
Yeah, sure, but I mean, like,
Yeah.
like if he wasn't around now, they would put like Eva Marie with him.
Yeah,
like,
who would Jimmy Hart manage right now if he was in his prime?
Well, use
Roman
managers now. They really use managers now.
Yeah, would
Beth?
I'm just trying to think of someone right now, like in any company, who would he be a good fit with?
I don't.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
You'd have to. He usually would always manage heels. He did have a face.
He would usually have like a mid. He would usually manage like mid card heels at WWE.
Yeah, but the
Would
face
you be
ones are
more
never as good.
excited to see a Baron Corbin match if Jimmy Hart was outside?
No.
Jimmy Hart and the Miz would be entertaining.
Miz doesn't need a manager.
I don't think Miz needs manager.
He's one of the guys who
he
needs
needs
a manager the least.
Yeah, hot chick manager.
Yeah, Maurice would be a perfect manager.
Or hot dude like fucking Johnny Morrison.
Well, that's his partner.
Yeah, well, that's not working. But
Actually, I think they're doing really well. Him and Ricochet have a good program.
well, they come on the TV, and you see that meme where it was something, and then it shows the remote and
You
the
know
TV
who?
going off.
You know who I would put him with if I could take Jimmy Hart out of 1986 and plop him down and right now? Ziggler and Rude.
There you
I
go.
put him with Ziggler and Rude.
What
What about
about
Elias?
Elias doesn't need a manager.
maybe Miro?
Miro would be good. Yeah.
Anybody who can't talk, Lance Archer.
Yeah,
Not that
I
he
think he'd be a
can't,
better
like-
manager for Archer than
Like
Jake.
a big, yeah.
Like if Archer was a heel and you went this little pipsqueak talking
Yeah.
tough, and then Archer's one that backs it up. That would
Yeah.
The monster's gonna come. He's gonna get you, baby. He's gonna get you. Ain't that right? Yeah, that's right. And so that's classic.
Yeah.
be AJ Styles.
Sami Zayn? But no, Sami Zayn
Sami doesn't need a
Yeah,
manager.
Sammy does.
Sami Zayn was a manager. for
A lot of people don't need managers. I mean, they could be heightened with a manager, but they don't really need it.
Mm.
Yeah, the one that I think really,
Like Bobby Lashley, he really benefits from having MVP as a manager.
yeah, he's a guy that like you have that accent. And
What about you take Paul Heyman out and you insert Jimmy Hart with Brock Lesnar?
I don't know if Brock would be a good fit.
I don't know. Maybe.
Like if I was plucking
Brock with
Bobby
the mullet.
Heenan out of 1986 and putting with
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar,
Oh, yeah.
that would be a better fit. Like I'm trying to think of people in like I'm trying to think of people like NXT, maybe like an Adam Cole, but he doesn't really need a manager either.
Yeah.
Um,
Karrion Kross needs a manager.
Dexter
Talking
Loomis?
manager.
if he was a heel.
Yeah, I don't know.
Jimmy Hart's a
They're probably. Yeah, I can see. Yeah, he needs a manager, but then, and like Bruce Pritchard says, that damn bell has to ring.
I don't think he's awful.
I don't think he's good.
I
He's
think
not
for
the
what
level of like the NXT champion
Yeah.
super worker.
Like he's
you're
not.
used to.
He
I don't think
doesn't
he's
stick up the
allowed-
joint.
I don't think he's allowed to go out and do what he could normally do because I think he has to play into a character.
Well, not in NXT. NXT, you can. If you're a
I
good,
still
if
think-
you're a good wrestler, they let you wrestle.
I know, but I think his character is pigeonholing him. I could be wrong though. I never really seen him anywhere else.
I don't know. He was an Impact, and people say it was better. I don't.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Well, there's a lot of people who go from WWE. They have to wrestle WWE style matches.
Not in NXT.
Not in NXT though.
Yeah.
So with Jimmy,
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, we're good. I thought I was trying to do the segue there.
No, that's good.
So with Jimmy, we Money Inc. is kind of the end of his heel run in WWE because Brutus Beefcake comes back after that parasailing accident, and he says, "I'm ready to wrestle."
So
So
his mask.
well, he didn't have the mask at first though.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Because of this angle. I think the first guy wrestled was DiBiase. It was either DiBiase or IRS, but they do a thing where Money Inc. both attack him, and their IRS is holding him up, and Ted DiBiase gets IRS's briefcase, and Jimmy Hart comes in and says, "No, don't do it," because he knows what they're about to do. This is like very early Raw. It's like the first 2 or 3 months Raw was on in 1993, and DiBiase runs and hits Beefcake in his surgically repaired face with the briefcase, and then Jimmy Hart
Steel lined breathing.
it was the Halliburton.
and then Jimmy Hart covers him up so they can't beat him up anymore. And they're acting like Brutus Beefcake just got his face collapsed by this briefcase because wrestling. And then
because wrestling.
and then the next week, Hulk Hogan shows up and he's like, "Thank you, Jimmy Hart. Thank you. You saved it from being even worse." So Jimmy Hart has seen the light. This was a good era for heel managers seeing the light. And the only one that never did was Bobby Heenan.
Yeah.
And even Mr. Fuji did later
Mhm.
when Yokozuna turned babyface. But Jimmy Hart saw the light. Slick saw the light because he got power slammed. And he's like, "I've been beat up a million times before, but that power slam made me see Jesus, Davey Boy Smith. And I'm Reverend Slick now." This is what happened.
Yeah.
This is actually what happened.
Well, stuff happens. Sometimes you're a big fat white guy, and you go to Africa, and you find out you have African roots, and
Right.
then you're a black man.
To make fun of Dusty.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna take an actual black man. We're gonna name him Virgil because that's Dusty's real name.
Yeah, but it's not a rib.
Yeah. And then when
Alright.
you come work for us, we're gonna put you in polka dots.
Yeah, and that's not a rib either.
Yeah. None of it's a rib.
Yeah.
It's just stuff we did. He's the American dream. We're gonna call this other white guy the African dream.
Yeah.
And he's gonna dance. Like do a soul dance.
Yeah, instead of polka dots,
But he does-
stripes.
No, he didn't have polka dots.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you get the best music, some of the best music ever.
Also, that's another one. The
That's
Dusty
so
Rhodes theme was another
Oh yeah,
the American Dream song.
That was
The one they still use the Dusty Classic. That was another Jimmy Hart one. Yeah. So very briefly to finish out his WWF run, Jimmy Hart does manage Hulk Hogan and Brutus Beefcake, and just Hulk Hogan after he wins the title. But when Hogan leaves in 1994, so does Jimmy Hart, or 1993, so does Jimmy Hart. And he really became like Hulk Hogan's manager. Like he was kind of a real manager. He helped take care of Hogan's affairs. He was on Thunder in Paradise with him. He came to WCW with him. And they had they still to a degree.
You think like the camera turned off? He's like, "Hogan, I'm not really your manager."
No, Hogan.
He was.
He was
At that point, I think he kind of was.
Yeah, like he was getting paid by Hogan for a while. Not
You're playing a character your whole life, and you're like, "Can you just do it?"
Yeah.
well, that was a joke in one of Heenan's books. It was when Heenan was managing The Missing Link. The Missing Link was this guy from Canada, Dewey Robinson, and he was a legit wrestler, like an amateur wrestler, but he didn't really have like that personality. So they had him like shave his head all weird, like he just had a little tuft of hair like right here, and he would pull himself by it and throw himself at people, and he painted his face all green
Because he was the missing link between humans and
primate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he had like just this little piece of hair here, and he was like, "Bobby, can you buy me my plane ticket?" He's like, "No, you're a real manager. I'm not gonna buy you plane ticket. Go buy your own plane ticket." He's like, "Look at me." He's like, "You're in New York. You look normal. Go. Everybody looks like you." So Jimmy did manage Hogan briefly in 95 or 94 and 95. Manager of the year again in 94 because Hogan won the WCW title.
The missing link is great. Lee's enjoying the show. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Lee. I would disagree with that, but
Maybe it was a
thank you
great
for
character.
watching.
It was an entertaining character.
Okay.
Yeah, it was interesting. I remember seeing him more in like World Class and stuff like that. Would be on ESPN.
I do appreciate you talking and interacting
Yeah,
and
thank you
engaging. That
very
means
much.
so much because that's definitely something that we're struggling with the
Yeah,
program.
give us all your
a lot of people
Yeah,
are
want to hear feedback.
not a lot of engagement and feedback, so we do appreciate it.
So obviously Jimmy Hart is a babyface. Babyface managers don't really last unless you're like Miss Elizabeth, and even that didn't last too long.
I think a babyface manager always works better if you're a hot girl or you're a classic like
an
a
old
legend.
guy.
Yeah,
Like Arnold Scullin.
Yeah,
you either have to be Arnold Scullin or Miss Elizabeth to be a babyface manager. So we do turn up with Hart turning on Hulk Hogan. It happens at Halloween Havoc 1995 when the Giant comes back after being thrown off the roof of Cobo Hall
after the monster truck battle
to face Hulk Hogan for the WCW title. The Giant wins by disqualification, and at the end, he suspiciously Jimmy Hart turns on Hogan during the match. The Giant wins by DQ, but he holds up the WCW title like he's a champion. And it's because that evil Jimmy Hart, who was Hogan's manager and controlled his affairs, wrote into the contract without Hogan knowing that the title can change hands by DQ. And this is all a very convoluted way to get the title held up, because it's going to be held up, and then the winner of World War III, which was a 3-ring, 60-man battle royal.
Do you know who won that?
No, I don't.
Macho Man.
Did he?
Mm-hmm.
Did they actually consider Giant as the champion? Like, is it in the books
at that time? No.
Yeah.
No, the title. It was almost like the Andre thing, where the title. They recognize that Andre reign, but I think back then they didn't really recognize it. They was champion for like 30 seconds, so no. It was just declared held up, and then Hogan was never eliminated in World War III. The Giant pulled him out from under the ring. And he's like, I got the tape, brother. And they can show the tape on Nitro. And it just cuts out to the part where Hogan wants you to see. So like, no, Macho's a champion. Randy's a champion. And he's like, Randy, you know what happened, dude. He's like, what it is what it is.
It sounds horrible, but I think I would like it.
It wasn't bad.
I think I would like it.
Early before NWO, WCW, like that. Like,
yeah, 93 NWO Nitro.
I started watching it before the network disappeared, and I can't watch everything.
The Randy Savage Ric Flair feud was fun too, because that led into that because of Starrcade.
That fucking World War III was fucking bad.
60 people, yeah.
No, the one, not the World War III, the War Games. Team America versus Team the Legion of Doom.
No, you're talking about it was the Doomsday Cage match at Uncensored, where it's Hogan and Randy Savage against like 80 people.
That one? Oh, you mean Dungeon of Doom versus WCW?
No, not the one with Sullivan, Earthquake, but he's a shark.
Okay.
Oh, Kamala.
Kamala.
It was a War Games.
Yeah.
It was the most one-sided War Games ever.
Is that one Hogan has the camo on?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I think it's the team is Kevin Sullivan,
the whole
Kamala.
story building up to it was so bad.
No, I'm sorry. It's the Zodiac, who's Brutus Beefcake with a goofy gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
And later you found out he was a spy. He was a Hulkamania spy to kill the Dungeon of Doom.
Even though he turned on Hogan before that.
Yeah.
He was the Butcher.
Yeah.
And then man with no name.
Yeah.
Well, Earthquake was Shark, right?
Earthquake. Yeah. It was the Zodiac, who was Beefcake, the Shark. It was Kamala, and it was
Haku?
Ming.
Yeah.
Haku.
So they had one tough guy.
And that is your team of heels. And then here is your all-star Hulkamania team. It's Sting, Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, and Lex Luger.
Yeah.
All Hall of Famers, all multiple time world champions.
Yeah.
The weakest guy on your team is Lex Luger.
Yeah.
Who is hot. He's red hot here because he just jumped from WWF. This is like a month removed from him showing up like out of nowhere on the Mall of America.
With his puffy shirt.
Yeah, it would be like if, say, like Kevin Owens showed up on AEW next week. Like a guy who's in a big main event angle and then just shows up on the other show.
Yeah.
And that's the match thing. I was thinking of the one where it was like Hogan and Savage. There's like 3 cages.
Against 12 heels.
It gets like Ric Flair and Zeus is back and Chief Swenson's there, and they forget to pin Ric Flair at the end because it's not even barely a match.
That is so bad.
They wanted Brian Pillman to be in that match. He's like, I'm not doing that. No. Yeah. Pin Rick again.
You already have 11 guys in there.
Yeah, and of all the people to pin, don't pin Haku, don't pin the Barbarian, don't pin Zeus.
Yeah.
Pin Rick.
Z Gangsta.
And like, it's so bad. Jeep Swenson. Do you remember the Batman and Robin movie with George Clooney?
Yes.
Jeep Swenson was the guy that played Bane.
Okay.
The giant arms. He was huge.
What's his name? Loch Ness? No,
that was the big fat guy. Yeah. That was Giant Haystacks. Jeep Swenson was only ever Jeep Swenson, and in this he was the final, or no.
Oh, the final salute?
No. That's what I was getting at. I just walked over.
It's close to that.
No, because they called him the final solution. They're like, yeah, you probably shouldn't call him that.
Yeah.
That's what they called the Holocaust.
Yeah.
You shouldn't call him that. So they called him the ultimate solution.
Yeah. But they slip up a few times for that match.
Yeah. So yeah, it was
bad taste.
I think it was
bad show.
Generally someone that didn't know. Now, was it out of ignorance? Probably, but
Mhm.
The first 2 WCW Uncensored shows are some of the classic bad wrestling. You
yeah.
had Dustin Rhodes and Blacktop Bully, who was Smash Repo Man, wrestling in a moving truck,
yeah,
and they both got fired because they
Blacktop.
bladed
yeah, the blacktop
the Blacktop Bully. Yeah.
match.
You had a boxer versus wrestler match with Johnny B. Bad and Arn
I
Anderson.
just say Cody Rhodes versus.
Yeah.
No,
Hey, whatever happened to that guy? A go-go. He just fucking disappeared.
I think he has had that eye surgery or something.
Oh,
You had
go-go.
your main event.
yeah, left.
Your main event and that was a strap match between Hogan and Vader, where he was one at the match they just had where you had to touch
Yeah,
the Cody match.
Cody, yeah.
We had to touch all 4 corners. Hogan won by dragging Ric Flair, who was retired at this point, but snuck in during the match. He won by dragging Ric Flair across because Vader didn't want to do the job. So that's the first Uncensored. The second one has what we just talked about with this crazy match with the Alliance and Hulkamania. You have a pretty good match with Regal and Finlay. And you have a match where the Booty Man wrestles the Booty Man with the Booty Babe.
Yeah.
The Booty Man is Brutus Beefcake, and his ass is hanging out of his pants.
And his finisher is called the high knee. The high knees. Uh-huh.
All right, listen,
WCW.
that's pro
I don't want to
baby.
hear anything.
Is there
ever.
a booty man shirt on People?
The Booty Man.
The Booty Man wrestling?
Might get some weird ones coming up. That
yeah.
booty man.
And then I remember there was a match. It was like I think it was like the LOD against like Sting and Luger or somebody, or Sting and Booker T. Because it was supposed to be Sting and Luger. And there's something backstage where they get like threatened by these attack dogs or something.
It's real bad.
Oh,
and
crazy.
when they're bad, it's the first Sold Out is also.
Oh, horrible. And
bad. The second one ain't much better.
so this has nothing to do with Jimmy Hart.
Yeah.
This.
I'm a booty man. Oh,
That's not the Booty Man though. But so Hart also did some music there. He wanted to be a heel manager for the Dungeon of Doom. He was later on, because for a while he kind of disappeared for a little bit, was mainly behind the scenes. He did a lot of the music. He was the voice of 3 Count. If you ever notice, you can hear it very distinctly. That's Jimmy Hart singing, not Shane Helms with his deep Southern accent. Yeah. And so he did bring back very briefly the First Family, which was always the name of a stable in Memphis. They would always call it the First Family of Wrestling. And like how Bobby Heenan had the Heenan family, or Robert Parker had the Stud stable. Jimmy Hart's were usually called the First Family, just never in WWF. They never used that name. And this was like a very low-level stable. We had Brian Knobs and Jerry Flynn, Hugh Morris, the Barbarian. He managed a guy, Emery Hale, for a little bit, who they were trying to treat like the next big thing. He wrestled Chicago-based DJ Mancow at Spring Stampede 2000. Mancow wrestled Jimmy Hart. That's the thing that happened.
Yeah, that's under Vince Russo.
Yeah, and at the very end, when Russo was kind of out of the picture, he was on the booking committee. He did help kind of book the final months of WCW. It was mainly him, Bill Banks, Ed Ferreira, who were writers that came in with Russo. I think Johnny Ace had something to do with it at that point.
But the budget was probably already fucked by this.
Oh yeah, they were trying to sell the company, so they were just
coughing on roller skates, like Tony Schiavone says.
Pretty much. After WCW closes, Jimmy Hart tried to kind of replace it. Like, you had so many things that rose up to kind of replace WCW. You had the one World Wrestling All-Stars. It was an Australian thing. TNA was the one that kind of stuck. Impact was the one that kind of stuck, but that came about a year later. The one Jimmy Hart had was the XWF, the Excitement Wrestling Federation. They were never really on TV. They did
Pretty
a
bad
pipe.
name.
Yeah, it's
Pretty rough.
I think they just stuck with XWF.
Yeah.
XWF was
The excitement. I can hear Jimmy Hart. Come down to Excitement Wrestling. $5 tickets.
Yeah.
But yeah, they didn't really tour anything. They did basically a pilot. They taped a weekend's worth of shows. The LOD was there. Hogan was there. Mr. Perfect was there. Your announcers were Tony Schiavone.
You would think with the connections and networks he made that more people would have thrown him a bone and like helped him.
Yeah, but I guess they're like the only wrestling that versus WWF.
Yeah.
Like WCW just failed. You're going to fail too.
These hoes ain't loyal.
Yeah, pretty much. And then, so your announcers were Tony Schiavone and Jerry Lawler, who was fired by WWF at the time. It was after he quit. No, because they fired his wife, so he quit.
The cat.
It was when Paul...
who's the two announcers?
Tony Schiavone and Jerry Lawler.
And that didn't work?
No.
Wow.
People hated Tony. Tony was still burnt out.
At that point,
he
was ready to
out.
just leave wrestling.
Yeah. He was ready to go do
and he
baseball.
did for 17 years.
Yeah. And so, they never really found a buyer for this show. The arena they used, though, they used Universal Studios Florida, which became the Impact Zone. And they had a few different Impact Zones. One of the Impact Zones they used, the bigger one in Universal, was once where they filmed Nickelodeon Guts.
Oh, wow. How about that?
So there was the King of the Mountain and the Aggro Crack both in that building. So after XWF didn't go off the ground, he did make some one-off appearances in Memphis wrestling and do like feuding with Jerry Lawler. He did some stuff on and off backstage with TNA. Usually he was there when they were friendly with Hogan, and then when he wasn't, he wasn't usually there. He did manage the Nasty Boys there for a little bit when Hogan was really in charge, and Bischoff. He was also the public face of WrestleLicious, baby. Yeah, WrestleLicious.
Hard to say.
Which was there's every now and then, you don't know about WrestleLicious.
I do not know what WrestleLicious is.
Is there a WrestleLicious t-shirt on TeePublic?
There was no booty.
After this, we're playing the WrestleLicious theme. Oh my God. WrestleLicious, every 5 or 10 years or so, there's always an attempt to revive Glow.
Yeah.
Usually David McLean, the guy who started Glow, is behind it. This one was not that. WrestleLicious was funded by I believe 21-year-old kid who hit the lottery in South Carolina and won $21 million. And the wrestling leeches worked their way in. It's like, hey, you should start a wrestling company. And Jimmy Hart was kind of the public face of it. And yeah, it was an all women's promotion. They shot a bunch of TV shows. They were on, they did actually do shows. It was on, I think, Mav TV. I saw it online.
And it was not a lot like Glow instead of what we were saying, Shimmer, where they would take independent stars and give them wacky gimmicks, and they'd be like the farmer's daughter, just like
so it was like Glow inspired.
Yeah,
there was the wrestling was a little bit better.
Yeah, because you had actual wrestling,
but it was very cheesecakey.
Yeah. You had I think one of them was like Boot Camp Betty.
Yeah, I'm not trying to.
Did they rap?
Oh yeah, there's a theme.
Yeah,
we'll watch it after the show. And then also within this time frame, he was inducted in the WWE Hall of Fame in 2005 with Hogan. The same year, a lot of those 80s era guys, Hogan, Orndorff, a lot of Piper, I think, went in that year. A lot of them did. And then in 2011, that's when he signs a Legends deal, and he's basically been loosely affiliated with WWE for the last 10 years. He'll do like public appearances. He was on Legends House. He'll show up on Raw and SmackDown sometimes. Do you have some names of these wrestlers?
I found the WrestleLicious roster.
The one I remember is Shauna Na. She was Shauna Na, I think it is.
Get it?
She was the 1950s girl.
Okay, Alexandra the Great,
Man.
Anaconda, Amber Lively, Autumn Frost, Bandita. Let's go. Hey, there was a girl called Charlotte. Her name was Kimberly Davis. We gotta go back to it. Cobra, Cousin Cassie, Draculetta.
Oh, the vampire.
This is very Jimmy Hart. Emo Lee.
We'll give 2 more and then we gotta wrap.
Okay.
Get close to wrapping.
And I get Candy Kisses. That's a good name. Oh, Lacey Von Erich was there.
And
oh God.
There was one that was like America or Liberty or something. It was Christy Ricci.
Tina the Trigger.
Like the actress?
No, there was a wrestler, Christy Ricci, not Christina Ricci.
Yeah. So
Rain, I think, was involved with that.
Serena Deeb was there. Mercedes Martinez was Maria Toro. So they had some actual
some good
wrestlers. Yeah.
So let's get through.
Yeah, just to wind up, just some later things with Jimmy Hart. He was inducted into the Wrestling Observer Newsletter Hall of Fame in 2018. He did win some Observer awards, mainly for his work in Memphis. He was Manager of the Year in 1983. Very good year. And Best on Interviews in 1984. And that's pretty much Jimmy Hart. And oh yeah, he'll be at the Legends of Hamburg, baby.
Come meet him.
For $20, you can meet Jimmy Hart.
Yeah. And then you get a picture with him and all Nasty Boys if you want.
Well, I think that that's like
a combo. I think it's
I think it's $20 per person.
Yeah.
Like you can get even with the Nasty Boys, you can get just Knobs for 20, just Sags for 20, or both of them for 40.
Do you have the balls to walk up and be like, I only want
just you, Jerry Sags?
Yeah.
No, I would take Knobs.
Yeah.
We're kindred spirits in a way.
Yeah.
We both are a fan of a very feudal football team.
Yeah. Andy, we got the plug.
Jeez, well, we've already plugged everything.
Yeah, we ran down all the indie shows
plugged
earlier.
all my shows and we've plugged Legends of Hamburg.
What shirt are you wearing?
I had looked down. Grand Slam Wrestling shirt that's rip off of the Raw is War logo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
most of those shows we were talking about, Andy will be on them. He will be there tomorrow.
To plug that we have.
He'll be tomorrow in Reading. He'll be at PPW. He'll be at Outbreak.
We talked about my shirts that we'll have at and bandanas. I'm gonna have 5 colors.
Ooh.
Hopefully they come in, but they might not.
Maybe I'll become a bandana guy. Also wear them.
Yeah.
I don't know how to fold a bandana to wear it, so I don't look like I'm trying to be a biker, or I look like a weird guy who doesn't know how to wear a bandana.
Oh, okay, yeah. We just did the Hogan tutorial.
Yeah. Brian, what do you got to plug?
ProjectHumanoid.com, Murder My Dude, Pedantic, t-shirts there. I think we're working on some new t-shirts coming out soon. The latest thing we did that is out.
We have a new shirt coming. WrestleFucks.
Oh, do we?
Yeah.
We have murder fucks coming out.
No joke. I just because I listened to the show, I heard of murder
That
fuck.
would be our Wrestlelicious.
Yeah.
Wrestle Fox.
Wrestle fuck.
Is that going to be on the new page?
And then we can have
Yeah,
Miranda Rights, and then make all these great girl gimmicks that are awful.
We're going to do an X-rated glow.
Yeah,
It's going to be great.
Wrestle Fox. That would be the OnlyFans.
Wrestle Fox, baby.
Wrestle
How
Fox.
much you have to pay Jimmy Hart?
to
Yeah.
do the intro.
Look, Jimmy, I'll give you $100 right now. Just let me
We
hear you
got
say
this
fuck.
idea. we're just gonna pitch it.
We're gonna put it on our Patreon only.
Yeah.
I have a feeling Jimmy Hart will be getting $20 of my money in about 2
Oh,
weeks.
he will be getting $20 of my money and a kiss on the face.
Do we have to do a podcast picture with Jimmy Hart? Is that going to be a thing?
I'm down.
Yeah, baby.
You think we have to pay $20 per person if we're all in one photo?
I don't know.
How the hell that
Some people do that and some don't.
I mean, realistically, we're setting up early. He might just
Yeah.
walk over and be like, Jimmy, we're big fans. We
Yeah.
just did a whole episode on you. You should listen to it.
We'll give you $20.
We'll give you
I
$20.
already did. You plugged my tiki bar that I don't have anymore, but that's okay.
I love him. Love him so much.
He's great.
Next episode coming out.
This weekend is Pedantic. We covered a little bit of everything. The show is, as they say, in the can. It is pre-taped. Our next Murder My Dude, which will be coming out not this Sunday, but next Sunday. It is the summer, so we're going to be talking about the Bikini Killer.
Ooh,
Bikini Killer.
Yes.
Not Bikini
that sounds
Bottom.
like maybe a gimmick for Wrestle Fox.
The
The Bikini Killer.
They kill your bikini. They make you naked.
No, she's a killer that only wears
Oh,
bikinis.
bikini
Oh,
killer.
it's like a hot, it's like a
Yeah.
hot slash.
Yes.
Yeah.
That'll
We'll
be
put her
our,
like
we'll
a-
start a new
Put her like
genre.
a ghost face mask.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's a,
It's a
hot
ghost face mask and a bikini.
The
That's all they
sexy
wear.
ghost face mask.
Yeah. That's me great. Thank you for listening to IWP EP Network. We do have a bunch of great shows. Go check out Interviews with Everyday People, Bang and Beers podcast. You can check out Welcome Back, Higher Than Other Words,
Stoned and nerdy.
Stoned and Nerdy, and then this one you're listening to, Tornado Tag. Check the links are below to follow us on all social media. We do have merch. We do have the Patreon OnlyFans that you telling you tomorrow at noon. We're gonna drop some steamy stuff,
Oh,
some
yeah,
cool
that's
stuff.
it.
Cool,
Very
Steamy.
cool.
yeah. So check that out.
Makes you think of shit.
Support is always great. Big thing is feedback, man. If you listen to it, you made it this far, send us a message. Just be like, hey, I
Look at
listened
that
to this.
sticker.
Yeah.
I listened to
Give
the
yourself
show
a
and
special
I hated it or I liked it or
yeah, any feedback.
anything
is welcome.
would be great.
Thanks
but,
for talking, everyone who talked. Lee,
Yeah, thank you
Rhonda
guys for
just
hanging
said
out.
she
Rhonda, Lee,
can't make it to the
Rob hanging
Legends
out.
of Hamburg. That's okay.
So we'll see you guys next time. Here's some Billy Trey. See you soon.